What's going on, good people? Happy Saturday, everybody. Let me know if the audio's good. Let me know if the visual's good. How's everybody doing? James, what's good, brother? Shout out to James Williams in the building. Shout out to my man Andy Rindler, who was here early. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in, please. Let the algorithm know that we in the building. Jarius, what's good? What's good? My man James. What'd you say? James says in baseball, the pitcher is the most important position, just like the quarterback is in football. So why are we okay with drafting the DB over a quarterback? Oh, you already started the argument. So that's what he was talking about. That's what you and Jerry been going back and forth about, huh? Jerry said because the quarterback isn't that good. Y'all starting off early today, man. Show ain't been on 30 seconds. You guys already arguing. Hold on. Let me get a little background music. I don't want it to be too loud though. We can do a little background music. Let me know if that's too loud in the background. I need something to play. I'm over here talking to myself sometimes in the room. All right, let's see. Get back to these comments. Yeah, so how's everybody doing, man? Thank you for letting me know the audio is good. The visual is good. What's going on, Pablo? What's going on, MKM? MKM got the right idea. He said we need a quarterback, period. We need a quarterback, period. We starting already, man. Y'all are starting already, man. Listen, we had a little bit of time. You know what's crazy? I blame TP Wade. I blame TP Wade. Last night, TP had his foot on people's necks in the live. If you missed that show, make sure you go back and watch TP Wade's stream from yesterday. He had his foot on people's neck. You know what's crazy? We don't like people talking about Shedeur Sanders yet. He ain't even officially our quarterback yet, and we don't. There's no Sanders slander. No, I should put that on a shirt. No Sanders slander. Maybe I should really put that on the shirt, man. Oh man, we're gonna get into it though. It's some things to talk about. We had the pro day yesterday, or the showcase, I should say. And yeah. You know what? If I'm being absolutely honest, there was a lot of food left on that plate at that pro day. It could have been a little bit better, but guess what? The good thing is, by the time we get to pro days, I already know what a quarterback's all about. If you don't know what a quarterback's all about until the pro day, I don't know what you've been doing. Years and years, seasons and seasons of games. For a fact, what's going on, Ghost Dog? Ghost Dog in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building. Again, make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in. And again, let me know if the background music is too loud. Just let me know. Let me, give me a thumbs up and let me know make sure I'm not getting drowned out. To me, it sounds good. It sounds pretty equal. It's in the background, faded. It's not overpowering. Let me know if I'm good. Shedeur for sure. That's right. Shedeur for sure at 3. We're going to be going back and forth for a while. Jay Ferris, what's going on, Jay Ferris? Again, shout out to everybody in the building, man. There's a lot of people in the building. My man Shaq says, any ideas now that the Colorado Pro Day is in the books? Nothing has changed for me, Shaq. Nothing has changed for me. I feel the same going into that pro day, after the pro day. Shedeur Sanders is still my number one pick, especially with the option that we have. Again, this is Cam Ward. By everybody's expectation, will be going to the Tennessee Titans. That leaves Cleveland Browns, to set the pace of the draft, and we'll see what happens after that. But for me, it's definitely quarterback first. Definitely quarterback first. What's going on, Pablo? Pablo says Trent Grissom too. Oh, you talking about baseball? You talking about baseball? Shout out to the Yankees. The biggest says the Cleveland. I think Cleveland takes Sanders. They only have one quarterback, and that's Pickett, and he's proven to be a backup. That's a fact. That's a fact. This house is familiar with Kenny Pickett. Again, my wife is a Steelers fan, so I'm fully aware of Kenny Pickett. Let's see. Hunter and trade up for Dart. Oof. I'm not wasting any draft capital to trade up for Dart. If I'm trading up for anybody, it's going to be Sanders. And that's in that scenario if we pick Hunter and try to trade up, for Sanders. Now, listen, a lot of people have been saying it. I still think it's no way possible. If you pass on Sanders for Hunter, you're most likely just saying goodbye to Sanders. That's where I'm at. No way he gets past all those people. All those other teams, you got the Raiders, you got the Saints, you got the Steelers. No way he makes it past all those guys. at all. Shout out to my man LB. What's going on? Shout out to Vauxhall. Vauxhall is in the building. Vauxhall is in the building. What's going on? Appreciate you for the love and support, man. Joining the channel membership. Appreciate you. Shout out to the home team, man. My man Mark Thompson in the building. Great night to all. What's up, Dash? I am here for the discussion from early tonight. Did I miss something? Something else happened? I've been trying to keep up, man. I've been out of the loop today a little bit. Ran some errands with the family, got something to eat. This time I made sure I ate before the stream. That way I don't have to leave because I'm starving. But I do want to talk about a couple of things though, man, because there's a lot to talk about. Like nothing changed with the pro days, but we're getting closer and closer to the draft. Now we're under 20 days into the draft. Draft is in 19 days. I cannot wait. And I want to talk about some scenarios with everybody here. Because again, for me, in a perfect world, the New York Giants land Shedeur Sanders at 3. We know the world ain't perfect. So I got enough people in the chat. We're gonna talk about some things. What's going on, family? Shamari in the building. Says yo, what's good, Big Dash? What's going on, Shamari? Big bro in the building. My man Antonio is in the building. He says, what's good, Dash? Let's go Giants. First time seeing you on a live. Much love. Much love. Yeah, much love, big bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for everybody that's tuning in. So, all right. So we're going to talk about some things. Hold on. Let me get back to Jay Ferris. Jay Ferris, I missed it. Jay Ferris with the $5 super chat says, as a strong black man, seeing how a young brother could bring us to the promised land. What do you want to do on draft night? 1, 2, 3, Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders. I'm running that card to the table as fast as possible. If he's there, Shedeur Sanders. I wasn't going to start off with Shedeur Sanders, but since it's become a subject already, what's going on, Luann? I'm going to talk about it a little bit. Oh, I missed Todd. Todd who? Todd Post. You missed Todd Post. Todd who? Somebody. Dash doesn't know. I don't know what happened. What's this Todd Post we talking about? I missed it. Somebody, bring me into the loop, man. Todd, who's Todd? What's going on, Rick Torture? I still like Graham. I still like Mason Graham. What's going on, Ronnie? What's going on, Ronnie? So yeah. So I want to talk about some things, quickly about what if Shedeur Sanders isn't there? What if Shedeur Sanders isn't there? Are we celebrating if he's not there? I played the scenario in my mind a lot. Like again, I want the quarterback so bad. Pause. Right? I want that quarterback. But I'm not oblivious to the real world and what could happen. So for me, I'm like, okay, the worst case scenario for the New York Giants. The worst case scenario for the New York Giants is picking between Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. That's the worst thing possible. I would also throw in Mason Graham, but that's just me. Some people argue with me that Mason Graham's not worth the third pick. I mean, it is what it is. I hold being able to stop the run in high regard. So Mason Graham is absolutely an option for me still at 3. But let's be honest. We're talking about the New York Giants. We're talking about what they want to do, what they would do. And if we're sitting there, Ward goes 1, Cleveland takes Shedeur, you're sitting there with Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. So I want to take the temperature in the room right now. Again, we're going to leave the quarterback for a little bit in this discussion in the stream tonight. We're going to leave the quarterback out of it. I just want to take the temperature of the room. Just write it, put it in the chat. If the quarterback isn't there, we're not trading back. You have the option between Hunter and Abdul Carter. Those are the 2 names you can type in the chat. Let me know which prospect you're taking. Are you taking Hunter or are you taking Abdul Carter? Because I want to see what the temperature in the room is. Luann beat me to the punch. Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. Said Titans canceled Sanders' workout there. Is that what? Oh, Todd McShay. That's what McShay said. Now I missed that. When did that report drop? I missed that. Okay. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. Look at the Hunters. Hunter. Rick Torture, Hunter. Jay Ferris, we got some Carters. Wagner Charles says Carter. The Hunter is crazy. Yep, there it is. Hunter. Shout out to my man Omega in the building. Omega, a.k.a. Cappuccino. I think that's a total of 3 Omegas all because we got Omega Supreme too. My man TP Way says Hunter. Hunter, Carter, Hunter all day. Hunter, yeah, I think that's what it is. I think I like that too. I think I like that too. Hunter will be my pick too. When it comes to Abdul Carter for me, I like Abdul Carter a lot. I think a lot of people are confusing him with Micah Parsons. They see the number 11 from Penn State. He is very, very talented, but I don't think he's the same caliber as a Micah Parsons. Now he could be. He can go into the league and be fantastic. More Hunters coming in. Hunter. Hunter. Me, my man Mark Thompson says Hunter. Shamari says Hunter. Yeah. The Hunters have it. I'm gonna go ahead and close it. Shout out to the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world with the woo. What's going on, champ? What's going on? All right. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about that too. I didn't know Ty McShay dropped that news. Hey, it is what it is. Hunter. Yeah, Hunter. All right. Yeah. So Hunter. So my follow-up question, because I thought that was going to be the temperature in the room. I really thought that was going to be the temperature in the room. But I see the Hunters have it. My man Gio says if we didn't have Tibbs, I would 100% take Carter, but I'll take Hunter in this scenario. That's a fact. Nova Nebula was good. Mosley was good. Oh boy, Ronnie says Hunter has baggage with that girlfriend. Listen. Hey, it is what it is. Hopefully it works out for them. My man Mark says, I love Carter, but we just can't pass up on Hunter. He can fail at one position and still succeed in the NFL. That's a fact. And that's why I'm leaning that way, right? Because I heard some comments yesterday during the pro day, and they're still talking about what position should Travis Hunter play. And they were saying, like, well, he really looks like he wants to be a wide receiver. Like, how can you tell what he really wants to do? Now, he is very, very talented. Fantastic ball skills. But what makes him a good wide receiver also makes him a good cornerback. He understands both sides of the ball. As a cornerback, he plays receiver. He understands the route tree. He understands the route schemes. He understands, almost like the progressions of the quarterback. And I was in the spaces, and somebody had brought that to my attention, and that's the first time I really thought about that. Is when you're a wide receiver, you understand route concepts. Now DBs also understand route concepts, but I never thought about that when it came to Hunter understanding the quarterback's progressions. As far as the reads go. I'm gonna get to that, Jay first. Because he did look like he was a little bit heavy. Jay First says 180 pounds. He did look like he bulked up in the pro day. He did look like he gained some weight. He did not run the 40. But you can see his speed on the field. It really don't matter. But where was I? Yeah, so I really didn't take that into consideration of him understanding the route concepts as a receiver, not just a cornerback defending a receiver. And you've seen on a lot of interceptions for the 2 years he was at Colorado, he would peel off of his own guy because he felt where the quarterback was going, and he can bait a quarterback. He plays very, very smart. And when I think about the system that he should be in, because I think he can play man, I really don't like him at man press because he's not the strongest. I like him as an off-man corner. I like him playing some of the zone that Shane Bowen likes to do. But he's just so smart right now coming out of college that if you take Hunter right now, by the time training camp gets here, he's probably starting over. He's probably starting over. Deontay Banks. He's probably starting over Banks. Like before the season started, he's probably starting over Banks. And the part that makes me mad about that situation, I would love to have Travis Hunter in this scenario if the quarterback's not there. But here we are again in another draft where you draft somebody over somebody you drafted already. And in this case, this is another first rounder. Now, Tay Banks had a down year. I put out a video a couple days ago asking, the people, asking the family, do they believe that Tay Banks can bounce back? And I think he can. I think another year under this new system, another year of maturity, because that was another thing that Giants fans were mad about was his maturity, quitting on plays and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure he took this whole season, season, the 2024 season, and did some self-analysis of what he needs to do to get better and what he needs to do. And I saw some pictures of Tay Banks working out. He looks as strong as ever. He looks healthy. He cut the dreads off, so new hair, who this type deal. But I'm just curious, man. No matter who we pick, whether it's Carter or Hunter, when you take those two guys in the first round, you're pretty much saying, Tibbs, thank you, but you're not quite where we need you to be. Tay Banks, thank you, but you're not quite where we need you to be. And that's a lot of conceding because we've done that already too many times. But that's just my quick analysis on that situation between Carter and Hunter, and who you guys would like to take. And again, it looks like the Hunters have it. The Hunters have it. But that's an interesting story about Todd McShay, breaking the news that the Titans canceled their private workout with Shedeur Sanders. I saw a video on Well Off Media. That's Shedeur Sanders. That's actually Deion Sanders Jr.'s channel. And they were asking him, it was during the Gillian Wallow episode. They were asking him, after the pro day, what kind of workouts he had. And he said, I have workouts with the Titans. At the time, it was the Titans, the Browns, and the Giants. That's the 3 private workouts that he had scheduled. And here we are now after the pro day. The Titans have canceled, their private workout. Shout out to my man Jay Ferris with the $5 super chat. He says, Big Dash, favorite 90s R&B and rap song. Come on, man. My favorite rapper is Jay-Z, hands down. Rapper is Jay-Z. My favorite Jay-Z song is Can I Live Off a Reasonable Doubt. That's my favorite Jay-Z song. Hold on just a moment. Just want to make sure. That's my favorite Jay-Z song. Jay-Z is my favorite artist. R&B song. Oh man, it probably got to be something from Jodeci. It got to be something from Jodeci, most likely. Jodeci, probably. Forever My Lady, something like that. Come and Talk to Me probably is one of my favorite R&B songs. I don't consider the music now R&B at all. But if I got to go back to the 90s, I'm going to go to the early 90s. Jodeci, Come and Talk to Me. Forever My Lady, probably my best R&B songs. Jay Ferris coming out of left field with the questions. All right, let's get caught up in this chat real quick. Oh, Nova Nebula. I got a funny story about Sade, right? My step pops used to play Sade all the time. Like every time I was in the car with him, all the time, to the point where I hated Smooth Operator. I hated it. Like with a passion. It Smooth Operator could come on right now and I can't listen to it because of how many times I was in the car, my step pops playing Smooth Operator. And it's crazy. I know all the Sade songs though. I can sing it, but he kind of ruined it for me. Hirsch for real, what's going on, man? Pablo Vilez says, Boyz II Men, that's a fact. Boyz II Men, that's a fact, sure. Shamari says 90s was the best era, period. Not just music. Going outside, being outside. Yeah, the 90s was, yeah. You wasn't there, man. Shout out for the people that were around to enjoy the 90s. You already know what I'm talking about. 112 for me. 112 was fire too. I remember when 112 first came out. I might have been in like 8th grade when 112 came out. Maybe 7th grade. Might have been 8th grade. I think it might have been 8th grade. Yeah, telling my age now. Luann says, I think Banks was tired of losing, so it didn't matter to him. You know what? People can be frustrated, but at the end of the day, once you get to the professional level, even if you're tired of winning, you get paid to play the game. You're not just playing it for the love. You're not just playing it to make it to the NFL. You're getting paid to play the game. Now, with the NIL deals, now these kids are getting paid all the time anyway. But yeah, I'm not going to use that as an excuse for losing when you're getting paid to play. You're getting paid for performance. You're getting paid to do a job. So that won't cut it with me. That won't cut it for me. My man Mark says Mace. Nah, Mace was fire too. Mace had it on lock for like a good 3 years. There was a good stretch of time where Mace had it on lock, man. Yeah, shout out to my big brother Shamari had the red Jeep Cherokee, right? And he had the big subwoofers in the back. I don't know how many 12s he had on. My grandfather used to sit on the front porch, right? My grandfather we used to hear Shamari's red Jeep literally 2 blocks away. Like 2 blocks away, you can hear it. You can hear the bass You knew when he was coming home. The red the red Jeep Cherokee with the subwoofers in the back. That's a fact. You can hear him from a block away. It's crazy. Mace is I don't know, man. Jay Ferris said Mace is a preacher now. Yeah, he I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna talk about that man's walk with God. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. Shout out to Mace. Shout out to New York. My man Mark Thompson said, I like Guy. Anything Teddy Riley has done, not to mention Jimmy Jam and Teddy Lewis. That's a fact. Shout out to Mark. How did we get here, son? This is supposed to be football. We talking about, I blame Jay Ferris. Jay Ferris want to bring up 90s R&B and hip hop. We got to bring it back to football. I'm gonna take a couple more. We're gonna take a couple more comments about hip hop and R&B. He said, I like Jay-Z too. Hard Knock Life. That's a fact. Listen, we got to talk football though. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Yeah, that's just your fault, Jay. That's your fault, man. We gonna get off of that. We gonna get off of that pause. So back to what the Giants need to be doing. So again, the Giants had everybody in the building. Like everybody was in the building except for John Mara. Like everybody except John Mara was there, and they don't have that type of presence if they're not really looking at the quarterback trying to make that decision. You don't send the whole house for a cornerback. You send the whole house when you're evaluating the quarterback. So that's one of the tells for me. I think it ended up being 13 people for the Giants, 11 people total for the Browns. So 11 to 13 people. You just don't send that many people for a cornerback. So in my opinion, the Cleveland Browns are definitely still in the mix when it comes to if they're going to take Shedeur Sanders or not. And again, I hate being in this situation because we didn't have to be in this situation. We could have had the first overall pick, in the bag. We beat the Colts, and now we're on the outside looking in. That's the part I hate so much about that victory. I'll take the wins as they come, but that one hurt and it stung a lot. Shout out to my man Rom Dre 81 with the $5 super chat. He says, this will never happen, but humor me. Imagine the Titans take Carter. What would you offer Cleveland to try to move up for Ward? Yeah. I would definitely offer them 3. And I think because that Cleveland might be, I think a 2 does it. I think one extra pick might do it. Maybe you throw him another 2 in the 2026 for Ward. But at the end of the day, we are talking Ward though. We're talking Ward though. And for as much as I love Shedeur Sanders, and I like Shedeur Sanders more than I like Ward, the consensus that I'm hearing, just out there in Giants country, everybody loves Ward. People are 50-50 on Shedeur Sanders, but everybody loves Ward. And listen, if that happens, if Tennessee is dumb enough to do something like that, if they're dumb enough to, guess what? I hope they are dumb. They might even take Hunter. You know what I mean? If they're dumb enough to do that, yeah, Joe Shane better pick up his phone and try to bring up some Godfather level deal. Family in the building. Newark Made with the $4.99 super chat. He says, dope setup, bro. That's a fact. Again, I got family in the building. Thank you for the love and support. That's my brother-in-law right there. Shout out to my brother-in-law. All right, Demir Jackson, neighbors versus Hunter practice battles will sharpen them for the season. Yeah. I believe that. I absolutely believe that. Shout out to Jay Ferris. I appreciate the love and support, man. You give if you got it. I'm not stressing people over the super chats. I appreciate the love and support for sure, but we ain't gonna stress people over super chats, man. We having a good time. We enjoying ourselves. We're gonna talk some football. My man Leo says Ward has a stronger, more accurate arm, but Shedeur isn't far off. I will say that he does have the stronger arm. I don't believe he's more accurate than Shedeur. Timing might have something to do with it. I will say this about Ward though. He's never in a position where he can't get rid of the ball. He can throw at almost any arm angle. I love that about him. Ward is super creative. And people always say that. People say that, Shedeur holds on to the ball long. Ward holds on to the ball long too, but both I don't criticize these guys for that because it's college football and they're trying to make plays. They're trying to win football games. Neither one of those guys had the best, surrounding cast. You can say Travis Hunter was there with Shador. Ward had Restrepo. He also had Damian Martinez. But these guys, like, if you take Ward off of Miami, you take Shador off of Cleveland, those teams are not where they are. They're not winning those amounts. Just think about where Miami was the year before Ward got there. Shout out to Ward, man. Shout out to Sanders. For the people, and a lot of people say this is a weak quarterback class, and they include Cam Ward in that in that conversation. And I'm like, no, like outside of the conference that they played in, everybody doesn't have to come out of the SEC to be battle tested. Some of the best quarterbacks in the league right now did not come from, the SEC. Josh Allen was not in the SEC. You know what I mean? Joe Burrow was, but Lamar Jackson not in the SEC. A lot of Patrick Mahomes not in the SEC. You know what I mean? So stop helmet scouting all the time too. Shout out to my man Jay Ferris with the $10 super chat. He says, what do you think about building these lines and waiting until next year? Lots of potential. If so, listen, it's never going to change. I'm going to tell, I keep saying this. You draft the quarterback when you have the chance to draft the quarterback. You can't keep kicking that can down the road. Now, with that being said, I'm never against building up the line. It's all about the trenches at the end of the day when it comes to football. The offensive line, the defensive line, the trenches are very, very important. But when you got a chance to get the quarterback, you get the quarterback. I can look past this class. I watch college football a lot. I know what the next crop of quarterbacks are going to look like. You got some good quality quarterbacks, but there's no guarantee you're going to be in a position, especially with the quarterbacks we have in the room right now. We got Russell Wilson, we have Jameis Winston. I don't think we'll be picking top 5 next year. And if you're looking at Nussmeier, Drew Aller, Klubnik from Clemson, when you're looking at guys like that, you're going to have to be in the top of the draft to get these guys, or you're going to have to give up the draft capital. For me, right now, we're in the position to get Shador Sanders. I don't want to waste time. Just go ahead and get him. And then, you have some people talking about the march for Arch Manning, and I keep telling people he won't be coming out in 2026. He most likely comes out in 27 or 28. And we talk about this class being weak. Next class, I don't know so much about. I mean, Drew Aller has some question marks, but the class after that, 27 and the class 28, depending on when these guys come out, you got Manning, you got Lagway, you got Raiola, the kid from Tennessee. There's a lot of quarterbacks that will be coming out later, but guess what? I'm not trying to suck for that long. Pause. Get my quarterback now. Let's see if it works out. Guess what? If it doesn't work out with Shador Sanders in 2 years, that means you lost a lot of games and you're right back in the front of the draft. And guess what? Maybe you get a chance to get Arch Manning or one of these other guys. We'll see what happens with that. But I can't keep kicking the can down the road. And Jay, you already know. You've been rocking with me for a while. You already know, Jay. Jay Ferguson. My man Ron B's 58 says Arch Manning isn't coming out until 28. Yeah, per his father and his grandfather. Papa Arch said it too. Archibald. You said it too. Mark Thompson says, say the Giants take Hunter at 3, should the Giants trade back in for Sanders? Who could take him? The Jets, the Saints, the Steelers. Is it even possible? Is it stupid too? You love them, pick them. That's a fact. You don't play around. But I've seen that scenario get floated around. Shout out to my man TP Way, because he talked about it last night on his stream. And he was saying that, there was a rumor about the New York Giants taking Hunter, or, what do you call it? A proposed trade rumor, a scenario. I'll call it that, a trade scenario where the New York Giants land Travis Hunter and somehow get in front of the Steelers at like 19 or 20. I think the Steelers picked 21, right? Is that what you said? Steelers are 21. Get in front of the Steelers at 20 and get Shador Sanders. I'm not sure what it costs to get up there, to get to 20. But it probably costs you more than just taking them right now. But again, if you can come out of this draft with both Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders, you're winning. You're winning, in my opinion. Go ahead and give Joe Shane the extension. My man Jay Ferris says Mark Thompson doing some math. No way. Listen, that's long arithmetic right there. That's long arithmetic. Sean Jackson says, what's up, Big Dash? Perfect Giants draft scenario for me is they draft either Carter or Hunter at 3. Shedeur falls out of the top 10. Then the Giants go draft him by trading 34 next year's 2nd and 4th. I mean, that's a scenario. That is a scenario. I'll say this, though. I'll say this. We think it's easy. A lot of us fans, not just saying you, Sean, because you're just putting out a scenario, one of your perfect scenarios. So I'm not directing this at you. I'm saying this for Giants fans in general. We think it's easy because we say a lot of things like it's easy to do. Just trade up. You know what I mean? Oh, just get your quarterback next year. We say it like it's easy, but time after time after time, history has repeated itself, and we've been on the outside looking in. You take the quarterback when you got the chance. Even if you miss out on a blue chipper, because guess what? We picked up Malik Neighbors. He was a blue chipper. And what did it do? We picked up Malik Neighbors. We said, oh, we can draft a quarterback next year. And here we are next year. And now people are talking about next year. The next year, right? Yeah. Hirsch said it takes 2 to tangle. That's a fact. You got to have a dancing partner. That's for sure. My man Leo says if Arch doesn't win a national championship or a Heisman Trophy after the season, he may play in college. No, it's not even that. The Mannings don't come out with only 1 year starting experience. It got nothing to do. It got nothing to do with him winning the national champ, because Texas could win a national championship next year. He could win a Heisman Trophy next year. But it's about the starting experience. They want to set him up for the future. And we see what happens when you got 1 year of experience. There's so many scenarios where somebody started for 1 year and then it all goes down the drain. Anthony Richardson had started for 1 year and they had all these traits: strong arm, fast, big quarterback. And look at him. It is what it is. Shout out to my man Q Cox in the building. Minnesota Vikings, y'all holding the Steelers up, man. Y'all need to just flat out say to Aaron Rodgers no. As many times y'all told him no already, just tell him no so he can sign with the Steelers. Just tell him no. Because Aaron Rodgers is what he was doing to the New York Giants, he's doing to the Pittsburgh Steelers now, just dragging people along. He's out there throwing passes to DK Metcalf, out there just teasing people, man. Just teasing people. But shout out to you, Q Cox. And best of luck to you and the Vikings, because I don't think we play y'all at all. Wait a minute, did we play the Vikings this year? I don't think we played the Vikings this year, but good luck to y'all, man. Good luck to y'all. That's a fact. Mark Thompson says Trubisky was a 1 year starter. That's a fact. I think one of the best 1 year starters, I think, was Mark Sanchez, right? He lasted probably the longest. I think he lasted the longest, right? Mark Sanchez. He had back-to-back playoffs for the Jets. I think he might have been last 1 year. Hold on. Was Sam Darnold a 1 year guy? Sam Darnold might have been a 1 year guy too. Leo Lucas says Aaron Rodgers is washed up. I agree. I do agree. He's not the same Aaron Rodgers. That's a fact. I know we played this year. I just wanted to make sure we wasn't playing y'all again. Yeah, first opening week, man. You guys went on a tear. Sam Darnold was a 1 year guy, right? For USC, wasn't he? I think he was. I think he might have been. Let's see. Darnold was a 2 year star. I know. Yeah. Thank you, Mark. Football Almanac, Mark. Let us know what the deal is. Yeah, I saw that too. That it's pretty much agreed to. He just hasn't signed yet, but they haven't even said that yet, though. Hasn't even. Shout out to Isaac Moore. What's going on, Isaac? So we do play the Vikings this year. That's right. We got the NFC North. We play the whole North. Yeah, that's right. Thank you. So that's what, 3 years in a row for the Vikings? Guess, man, listen, man. Hopefully we got some smoke for them this year. See what happens. We'll see what happens. Yep, thank you. AFC West, NFC North. Thank you. That's right. I'm over here drawing a blank, man. I'm like, wait a minute. Because I know we got the Bears. Listen, I think we can beat the Bears. I definitely think we can beat the Bears. I don't know about them Vikings though. The Vikings, man. Yeah. Won't stop. Dream Team Entertainment. Better late than never. Dash. What's going on? I only been live for about 35 minutes, man. For about 30 minutes, man. You ain't missed nothing too much. We talked about some things. We had a Carter versus Hunter question. Let's go ahead and put that in the chat to get you caught up. If the quarterbacks are off the board, who you take, Hunter or Carter? Go ahead, let me know. Won't stop. Let me know what you think. Kyler Murray was 1 year. Was he? He might have been too. Yeah, I knew he played KC. I knew that. Luann got high hopes. She says, I have the schedule. KC at home. That's a win for us with an exclamation. Listen, Luann, you always bring that energy. I'm not gonna mess with you. I'm not gonna rain on your parade at all. At all. I hope so. My man Barry Nanlau. I'm just call you Barry. I'm not gonna ruin people's last names. He says, "What's up? Can't believe the Cowgirls got Joe Milton." No, listen. Yeah, that's funny to me. And you know what's crazy? I put out a tweet when I heard the news about them trading for Joe Milton, and I said, hopefully, because the Patriots were asking for a third rounder. I was like, hopefully the Cowboys weren't dumb enough to give them a third rounder. Then I said, you know what? Hopefully they are dumb enough to give him a third rounder for Milton. But yeah, that's crazy to me. They gave up a 5th rounder, and then they got back Milton and a 7th round pick. I saw that. So it is what it is. Isaac Moore says KC didn't beat anyone up last year. No, they didn't. They still had one of the best records, but they didn't look like the same powerhouse that they've been over the last couple of years. That defense held them up a lot. Shout out to my man Phil in the building. Says Big Dash knows Sanders at 3. You already know what it is. Absolutely. All right, I think I'm caught up. Let me make sure I'm caught up. I think I'm caught up. All right. Oh yeah, I'm caught up. Good. So the next thing I want to ask you guys about is Joe Shane, right? Joe Shane, I'm loving what he's doing this year. I'm loving the way the defense is coming together. Brian Daboll's at the podium this week, right? And he said some things. He said he doesn't know if he's going to be calling the plays or not. And the funny thing to me is this. Last year, we knew. Like they said, oh, we're not going to decide who's going to be calling plays until after preseason. We knew Brian Daboll was calling the plays last season. Now we're getting into this year, and I said it last week. I said I'm really not sure what Brian Daboll is going to do. I want him to give the play calling duties back to Kafka. I do want that to happen. You have a more experienced quarterback. You have a guy that you can trust a little bit more with the offense. You can open things up. And I think that Brian Daboll needs to concentrate on the entire team, not just the offense. But we've learned that he cannot multitask. Like Brian Daboll could not multitask. Last year, he was running our offense. When the defense was on the field, he wasn't even on the sideline. He was talking to the offense. I can't have a head coach do that. So this year, I do want Brian Daboll to give the play calling back to Kafka. My question to you guys, because again, I'm taking the temperature in the room. Do you want Brian Daboll to continue calling the plays? Or do you want him to give up the play calling duties and give that back to Mike Kafka? Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that. I'll wait for those to start rolling in. Shout out to my man Stephen Morgan. Europe was good, my dude. Word up. Shout out to you, Steve. What's going on, Steve? My man Isaac says we taking the guy from Ole Miss. You talking about the quarterback? You talking about Darty? You talking about the defensive tackle? You talking about Nolan? Hopefully you talking about Nolan. Luann says Daboll needs to not call the plays, just focus on the team and be the head coach. That's where I'm at. My man Barry says Kafka. My man Rico says, so you trust in Kafka? I wouldn't call it trust. I just know that Brian Daboll can't multitask. He can't do it. My trust is that you have a better quarterback. You should have more consistent quarterback play. Go ahead and give Mike Kafka the play calling back. That's what I'm thinking. Isaac said he's talking about Dart. That's a fact. I kind of figured. Let Kafka do it. What's going on, Ed Lid? As said Dart. I kind of figured he was talking about. My man, Ed, man, you're. I like to see what Kafka can do with the legit NFL starting quarterback. That's a fact. My man Leo Lucas says, to be fair, we had bad quarterback play for 2 years, except when DeVito looked good. Yeah, Tyrod Taylor didn't look bad either. He didn't look bad either. Phil says that I like this point, Phil. I like this point. He says, whoever is more aggressive, tired of the dink and the dunk. I think with the two quarterbacks that we have right now, Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, they like to throw the ball deep. Dable wants to throw the ball deep. He was talking about it. He was talking about attacking the seams with the tight ends. He was talking about, having fast wide receivers on the outside. Dable wants to push the ball downfield, and he has some quarterbacks that are not afraid to pull the trigger, not afraid at all. Jameis Winston to a fault at sometimes, but not. I'd rather have a guy be a gunslinger than be gun shy, for sure. Let's see. My man Mark Thompson says, let Kafka call the plays. Dable needs to focus on the overall strategy and make sure he stays on track. That's a fact. That's where I'm at, man. A lot of people are feeling the same way that I'm feeling. And listen, like, we're all watching these games. We're seeing what's happening. We're like the stuff that I'm seeing, you guys are seeing as well. Like Brian Dable on a knee talking to the offensive line while the defense is on the field. Meanwhile, we're going, they're pushing the field. I'm pushing the ball on us. We can't stop the run. Shane Bowen not doing his thing. That's another thing we want to talk about is Shane Bowen. Yeah, because he got some more pieces to his puzzle. Hopefully it fits together. My man Q Cox says, Dash, who what do you rather? What are we talking about, Q? I need you to retype that, Q. Okay. Q Cox says Hunter and Dart or Sanders and the second rounder. I'm still taking Sanders. It's not that I don't like Dart. If I don't expect Dart to be the starter like ever. He can be a solid backup, but I don't think he'll be a starter ever, if that makes sense to you guys. Like a lot of people say, there's not a big gap between Sanders and Dart, and I disagree with them. I like Dart for what he is. He played in that offense where they, it was out wide. They stretched the field, a lot of motion, to help the quarterback out a little bit, to open up to get some open areas, some open space out there in the field for the defenders, and he distributed the ball pretty well. I think he's athletic. But I don't believe he can read defenses, at least not that well. I mean, you have to be able to read defenses to a certain extent, but I don't think he has it between the ears as much as Shedeur Sanders does. Pre-snap, post-snap, I don't think I don't think it's close. And when I think about Hunter, and it has to be a package deal, like Hunter and Dart, because Hunter is holding most of that weight. And then if I say Sanders and Derek Harmon, or if I say Sanders and Darius Alexander, or if I say Sanders and Walter Nolan if he happens to fall, or Tyleek Williams, or Trey Amos and stuff like that. There's some other players out here that would be a good combo as well. So, but when people see Hunter, the BPA, consensus BPA, it's going to sway a lot of people. But I just don't have that kind of confidence in Dart. I think if you're going to pick a quarterback in the second round, well, no, if you're not getting a quarterback in the first round or trading back into the first round to get Shedeur, I think every other quarterback is most likely either developmental, maybe they get a chance to be a starter at one point in time, or they're just going to be a solid backup. And that's how I feel about Dart. I think Dart can be a solid backup somewhere. Obviously, he can be fantastic. He can go somewhere like the Rams, sit behind Matthew Stafford, and be the next one up. We'll see what happens. It all depends on where people go. I'll say this: if Sanders is off the board, Dart might be a guy for the Steelers too. Dart might be a guy that the Saints are interested in. But I just for the Giants picking at 3, it got to be either Ward or Shedeur Sanders, man. Over the blue chippers too. Over the blue chippers. I see you, Reverend Cognac. He says whoever calls the plays, he says air it out, man. Air it out. We got to air it out. Shout out to my man Thomas Darby in the building. He says, I want his blank to give up the damn play calling immediately. I want him to focus on the team. That's where I'm at. Uh-oh. Yeah. Back. Would you draft the 6'6" defensive tackle, Desmond Watson out of Florida, if he became available in the later rounds? I'm not taking him. He is like short down. That's it. Like he's a one play player, like one down. He's a one down player. I guess that's the best way to say it. I think in all honesty, Desmond Watson, for his size, again, he's 460 pounds. He can move pretty well for a guy that weighs that much. But there's no, it can't be healthy at all, because you figure this guy plays football. He practices every day, and he's still 460 pounds. So that tells me when it comes to eating, there's no discipline there. And you put a lot of money in his pocket. You give him that NFL, what I'm talking about, just the status of being in the NFL. He might be 500 pounds by next January. In all honesty, for the people that are around him and people that know him, if you're listening, if you know Desmond, he needs to lose at least 100 pounds. Like, I'm not even playing around. That's not healthy, because he's an athlete for sure, but he can't carry around that kind of weight. Human body's not meant for that, even though he's 6'6". That's crazy. No, he needs to get some discipline in his life. That's how I feel about it. I would not do that. And you know what? I think he's a UDFA anyway. I think a lot of people feel the same way. I think you're taking it's a risk, but if you can get him as a UDFA, get him in, you pay him a couple $1,000s, for the 90-man roster and see what happens. But I wouldn't draft him, not at all. Respectfully, I would. Hopefully, respectfully, man. Hopefully, I was being respectful when I was saying that. My man Michael Hines says, "Give me Shedeur, no questions asked." Yeah. Luann says, "Dash, imagine the offense with Neighbors, Hunter, Wandell, Slayton. It sounds fantastic. I'm not going to knock that. It sounds fantastic. What are you doing in 2026 though? When Russell Wilson's gone and it's only Jameis Winston, we're going to be sitting right here this time next year, trying to figure out a way to get Nussmeier. And that might be the scenario anyway. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at a Neighbors, Hunter, Wandell, and Slayton offense. I'm not mad at that at all. It's just I'm not just looking at 2025. I want to win in 2025 like everybody else, but I can't just focus on 2025 like that. I can't do that. I cannot do that. Rico says, praying JMS could kick it up this year. Man, I wouldn't even be mad at the fact of going for a center in the draft somewhere in the third. I do have center on my radar for sure. There's a couple day 3 guys that I've been eyeballing. Monheim is one from USC. He's a guy that I like too at center. That should be there, on day 3. I've been keeping my eye on the center position for sure. Prospects. JMS has to step it up. I gave Evan Neal 3 years to show me what he can do. I'm giving JMS the same thing. That's me, because the Giants are giving Evan Neal every chance in the world. Here we go with his 4th year, and maybe he succeeds at guard, but they're giving him a chance again. For me, JMS has to step it up this year. Has to, or he's replaceable. And I think that's one of the reasons why they brought back Greg Van Roten, because he can play both guard and center. So if JMS ain't up to snuff, he might he might get put to the bench. Shout out to my man A-Trax in the building. Says, "What's up, Dash? What's going on, A-Trax?" Isaac says Sanders is going to fall like A-Rod. It's possible. People have been leaking that out or putting that out in the atmosphere like that. So yeah, it's a possibility. It's a possibility Sanders falls, and guess what? Hopefully, if that does happen, that the New York Giants do go up there and get him. I don't think he falls. I don't think he falls out of the first round though. That's impossible for me, especially when you have Cleveland picking at 33. They're probably, if Sanders is sitting there and it's like pick 22 or something like that, or 23, we won't be the only ones calling people trying to move up. I think Cleveland does the same thing. Ron B says Shedeur will now fall beyond the Raiders. Yeah, I think he can go there too. Gilbert Brown 2.0. Your guys are being crazy right here. Shout out to my man NYG man VA1 with the $5 super chat. He says Carter is the must-have with him, Burns, and Dex, and the secondary on point, clear top 3 to 5. defense. You are high on Carter though. We go back and forth on Twitter a lot. NYG. Yeah. You're high on Carter. For me, again, when you go get Carter, he brings you some versatility. He can be an off-ball linebacker on early downs, and then you have like a NASCAR package, and you put him in at a rush to pass on third down. So there's some possibilities there for Carter. It still doesn't impact the team more than the quarterback, brother. And we listen, and I'm not saying anything new because we go back and forth a lot on Twitter, brother. It's all love, though. I love the debates. My man Alexander says Carter can actually hold an edge too, unlike Kayvon. Not consistently. He's off ball. He's a good run defender off the ball. He's a good run and chase linebacker. He is stout. 240 pounds, man. I don't know if he holds up the edge the way you're saying it. Better than Kayvon holding up the edge. I wouldn't argue against that because right now neither one. Burns too. Burns is better than Kayvon, but we really don't have no edge setters. If we're going to be absolutely honest, we really don't. Leo, yes, we could use a bigger power running back. Yeah, I've mocked a lot of different running backs. Khalil Mulling is one. Devin Neal is not really a power back. He's a smaller guy, but he can run between the tackles. Raheem Sanders is another one. Taj Brooks is a guy that I like a lot out of Texas Tech. But yeah, I do think we need a thumper. What's the guy from Ohio State? Quinshon Judkins. He's another guy that can be a thumper. Marion Hampton, he goes in the first round though. So yeah, I do think we need a thumper though to add to the backfield for sure. A lot of people love Carter Luan. A lot of people do. They were enamored with his, when he played in a bowl game with with one arm, he was all taped up. But like I said, stout in the run from the edge position, I don't know. He's a great off the ball linebacker too though, because he's played 1 year at the edge. Prior to that, 2 years as an off-ball linebacker at Penn State. That's why he wore the number 11. That's that. They give that to their middle linebackers. Then he moved to edge, allowed him to keep the number 11. It is what it is. Same thing as Micah Parsons. A lot of people wore that. Navarro, what was it? Navarro Bowman was another guy that wore the number 11 for Penn State. All those linebackers, it's a tradition for them to wear that number 11. We can't unretire Phil Simms' jersey for Abdul Carter. That's not happening. I don't think Phil Simms allows that to happen. My man Sean Jackson says, Big Dash, you want to draft Shedeur, but when do you expect him to play for the Giants next season with Russell Jameis on the team? Well, I'll say this. It's a similar situation with Eli. With Kurt Warner. We had Kurt Warner. Kurt Warner actually he wasn't even playing bad. We were winning games with Kurt Warner back in 2004. But we still decided to sit Kurt Warner and play Eli Manning. I think it's a similar situation. You're only paying Russell Wilson $10 million, $10.5 million base, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if depending on how we look too, though, because these guys are desperate for wins. The coach and the GM, they're desperate for wins. So if Russell Wilson is winning games, then you might see Shedeur Sanders sit for the whole year. Excuse me. You might see Shedeur Sanders sits for the whole year. But if we're just average and then they feel like the move to get him some experience before the season for the second season, then I think they go Shedeur Sanders probably by like week 8. Thank you for the question, though, Sean Jackson. My man John Young says, I agree with the Carter take. I think we forgot how we dominate our D-line, how dominant our D-line was with them in the Super Bowl wins. Eagles just showed us how to win it. That's a fact. We got to be stout up front. You got to be able to stop the run. Yeah, I think the league's getting back to that. Notice how for a time, we got the linemen got a little bit smaller and more athletic. The running backs were like scat backs, and then it kind of like shifted again. It was heavy throwing the ball, and then it shifted, and now you're seeing teams run the ball a lot more. The running attack is there, and then your linebackers have to be more dominant, more physical now, not just guys that can cover. So I think the NFL shifting a little bit, and that's why we need a thumper too. My man Zay says, give me Quinshon Judkins. That's a fact. I like Judkins. Stephen R says Judkins or Ollie Gordon. A lot of people not talking about Ollie Gordon. He's going to be a day 3 guy. He's going to be available probably in that 5th round if you want Ollie Gordon. I think he'll be a better pro than he was in college, especially the last season. His junior year was better than the senior year. I should say his 2023 season was better than his 2024 season. But yeah, I like Ollie Gordon. I do like Ollie Gordon. Isaac says, you see Genty looks. Yeah, Genty is Genty. Genty will be gone. He's definitely a top 10 pick for sure. Hopefully he doesn't make it to Dallas. I hope not. I think Dallas might go wide receiver too, though. We'll see what happens though. Luann says Burns is overpaid. Joe Shane overpays players. I'll say this, and this I like this comment, right? And I'm gonna let just bear with me for a second, right? So walk with me a little bit and hear me out. When you think about Brian Burns, when you think about Kayvon Thibodeau, and you think about the lack of like the sacks that the New York Giants are getting from those two players, there's always a why to what's happening. And for us, we've never played with like the lead or like a large lead where the other team has to, it's obvious throwing situations. So these guys are never able to really just get after the quarterback. And I think if we're able to, to score some points and, get up by a couple possessions and we force other teams into obvious throwing downs, I think you'll see the sack numbers from Burns go up. I really do think that'll happen. Same thing for Kayvon Thibodeau. Again, it all stems from not being able to stop the run. These guys can't really get after the quarterback because they got to set the edge. They got to have their gap assignments and stuff like that. So I think once we start playing with the lead, you start seeing these guys go hunt. And I think the sack numbers for those two players and from the edge position, you get a lot more sacks. Because we did get a couple of sacks too. We led the league in sacks the first couple of weeks. And a lot of those was coming from the interior. You had Chapman that got a couple sacks. Dexter Lawrence was going crazy. Burns was going crazy early too, but I think it could be way better than what we've been seeing. And then we'll see what the money is after that. My man Sean Clowney says, pick up Scatterbo. Dude is a beast. I like Scatterbo. I saw some people try to mock Scatterbo or ask the question, if Scatterbo's there at 34, you take him. I'm not taking Scatterbo that early. Not at 34. Not a rotational running back at 34. Because if we get Scatterbo, he's not beating out Tyrone Tracy, in my opinion, for the reps. That's a good question. You guys can answer. Does Scatterbo, if we were to draft Scatterbo, who's the number one quarterback? Running back. Tracy or is it Scatterbo? If I'm drafting a running back in the second round, I'm thinking he's going to take over, the starting reps for Tracy. That's just my opinion. If I'm taking a running back that high. LeVar Arrington wore number 11. That's a fact. Gordon is a beast. Shout out to my man who said dip the tip with the $2 sip. Dip the tip. Pause. Dip the tip. Pause. Thank you for the $2 super chat. He says, I hope all Giants fans get some top tonight. Dip. You didn't listen. Good Lord, brother. Shout out to Dip the Tip. Pause. G-Man 56 says, yo, Big Dash, what's up? What's going on, man? How you doing, man? Enjoying this Friday night for sure. Somebody give me an update on the game, though. Actually, is the game over? Actually, I don't care right now. You guys let me know. My man G-Man says, I'll take Judkins. Looks like a good running back. I think he'd be a good running back for sure. I think you add him to the mix. Good running back by committee. Yeah. Rico says Dart ain't lasting until the second, even so it ain't worth it. Yeah, I don't think he lasts. There's too much hype around Dart right now. What I absolutely don't want to do is I don't believe the Tyler Shuck hype at all. Because now people are trying to push him up into the first round too. Late first for Tyler Shuck. No, I'm sorry, respectfully, I can't do it. I wouldn't consider him. He's not that big. Pause. Henry build or Jacobs build is Ollie Gordon. He's what's he about? He's about 6'2". I'll say that. He's 6'2". I think for the combine, he was a little bit lighter. I think he played around 225, 230. So he is a bigger back. But I wouldn't consider him a Jacobs or a Henry type. I don't think he's that physical because he can catch the ball too. I like Ollie Gordon's. He got an all around good game. He does, but I wouldn't put him in the category of a Brandon Jacobs. Nah, I got to go back and watch Ollie Gordon again because if you're saying he give you Jacobs vibes, I don't know about that one. Everybody said Tracy. Yep, Tracy. Tracy is a starter. Yeah, over Scatterbo. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I don't think that happens. You can't take a running back at 34. Nah, that's too high for a running back. Unless it's Amarion Hampton. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Amarion Hampton, I might. I might. 6'2", 230, Ollie Gordon. Yeah, that's a fact. 6'2", 230. Yep. He was a little bit lighter for the combine. I think at the combine he was like 217. It was something weird. It was like, you don't. I guess maybe he was just trying to be faster for the 40 or something like that. But he was light at the combine. He won 230 at the combine. My man Leo Lucas says, "What about Quinn Ewers?" I think Quinn Ewers gets injured often. Injury issues. He has a good arm. He can make a lot of the throws. It does get a little bit of shaky after like 20, but going into the season, Quinn Ewers was ranked right up there, and then he didn't have the strongest season after that, so he fell bad. Because if Quinn Ewers would have came out last year, he probably would have got drafted higher than where he's probably going to go this year. I'll say that. I think his draft stock was high at the highest last year, and he decided to come back, and it didn't work for him. Yeah, it was like the opposite for Quinn Ewers. Like Quinn Ewers, like last year, Cam Ward was like a 4th round prospect. He went back to school. Now he's the number 1 overall. Quinn Ewers last year, he probably would have went in the 2nd round. In my opinion, he probably would have went in the 2nd round. And then now look at him. He's a day 3 guy most likely. Unless the team just loves Quinn Ewers. Like somebody can absolutely fall in love with Quinn Ewers. A team that's already good right now. They have a quarterback that's a little bit older. He's another candidate for the Rams. Like a lot of these quarterbacks are good candidates for the Rams because you know for a fact that Matthew Stafford's going to be there at least 2 more years. That gives you enough time for the quarterback to develop and see what you got. So I think a lot of these quarterbacks could be candidates, for the LA Rams. Shout out to my man Barry with the $1.99 super chat. He says, hope our offense scores more points this year. I hope so too. Brian Dable's job depends on it. I hope so too. Shout out to my man Michael Corus with the $5 super chat. He says Shane hasn't done enough to improve our offense, so I'm hoping for Hunter. I want to see him in the wide receiver packages with Neighbors and Wilson throwing the moon ball, the famous quote. The famous term moon ball. That's a fact. They were saying that Shedeur Sanders throws a good moon ball too. It was a lot of comparisons in that pro day. They were comparing some of the zip against Cam Ward. Obviously, Cam Ward has the stronger arm. There's a lot of zip, and the ball just jumps out of his hands. Shedeur Sanders, not as much. He got plenty enough arm to make all the throws, but it does not look the same as when Cam Ward is throwing it. Man, I can even admit that. I'm not sitting here blind to those facts. But yeah, I think the offense does need to improve. But also, when you say that Joe Shane hasn't done much to improve the offense, I'll say this: getting the quarterback position not solved, but getting consistent or a better quarterback option in the building will improve the offense. Like there were times in the games last year where wide receivers were just running around wide open, and the quarterback just wouldn't pull the trigger. You got Russell Wilson, you got Jameis Winston. Those guys are going to make those throws. They're going to attempt those throws. And I think just by default, just having better quarterback play right now with a Russell Wilson and a Jameis Winston, you're going to see the offense score more points. I'm not saying we're not going to have a Colts game every game, but I definitely think that the New York Giants are probably high, average around 20 points a game. I do think we beat the whole. At some point in time last year, we were averaging like 10 points a game. We can't do that. We can't do that this year. Won't stop. Good point. He says Burns played through injuries all season. No way he's overpaid. That's good back and forth, though. That's a good back and forth. Luann says, I heard McCaffrey will be traded Nah, he's injured, man. McCaffrey might be cooked. He might be cooked, and I don't want him. I don't want him. Slice of Kimbo. I like to play on the name. He says, I don't know if Hampton got a bigger back than my old lady, but it's close. Good Lord. Good Lord. Said he'll be a much better he'll be much better this year. Watch, who you talking about? Which person? Ali can't stay healthy either. That's a fact. He got injury issues too. And I think that's why he's going to be a day 3 pick. Don't cost you as much. Steven says, I'm on Madden right now. There's only 10 running backs 6 foot or higher, and less than 5 is a top 15 talent. Tracy is 6'1". Tracy is 6'1". Well, you figure he was a wide receiver, so you want him to be a little bit taller. I like Tracy a lot, man. I think Tracy earned first team snaps for sure, depending on who else we bring in here. But just thinking about the running back room right now, Tracy is a starting running back. He earned it. He earned it. And I think he's a guy that can give you 2,000 all purpose. I think he can do that. If we can get better quarterback play, because there was a couple wheel routes where he was open, a couple out routes where he was open, a couple of routes into the flat where he was open that he didn't get. But he can make something happen, man. He's a guy. He's a big play waiting to happen. I like Tracy a lot. He ends up being a steal. The age is one thing, but guess what? He doesn't have a lot of tread on the tire for being that old, especially at the running back. He didn't take a lot of hits, so I like Tracy, man, and I'm hoping for the best for him. TD Midas says we get Hunter, we'll win 8 games and be back in QB hell. Listen, man, listen, people love Hunter, man. But nothing affects a team more than a quarterback. I'm telling you. For the bad and good. Bad quarterback play, like it goes both ways. I think Shedeur Sanders is solid though. It's solid, and I think you can build a nice offense around Shedeur Sanders. And a lot of things that like people always talk about the bad qualities with Shedeur Sanders, and they never want to talk about the good stuff. What's between the ears, pre-snap, post-snap, going through his progressions, his toughness. Like we loved Eli for his toughness. Eli would take a hit, get up, and keep going. Shedeur Sanders does the exact same. There were some hits that Shedeur Sanders took. You're like, oh my God, he'll pick himself right up for the next play. I appreciate that, man. He'll stand and deliver. He'll take the big hit for the big play. Now he got to learn to throw the ball away, survive to fight another play. But man, there's just some qualities there that you can't teach. A man got the heart of a lion. No matter what people say, they say, "Oh, he was fortunate. He grew up rich, this, that, and the third." That man will stand in the pocket and deliver the ball to win a game. I love Shedeur Sanders, man, and I hope we get a chance to land him. I would hate it if he ended up on like the Dallas Cowboys or something like that, because I heard those rumors too. That the Dallas Cowboys will pick up Shedeur Sanders. That's crazy to me, but it's not crazy when I think about who the owner is. My man James says Burns. We want to add it to the Burns conversation. He says Burns overpriced. He hasn't had 10 plus sacks in a while. That's a fact. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue against that. But I think I brought up a pretty good argument on why the sack numbers are a little bit lower than what we want them to be. Just in general. Why they want it to be, got to play with the lead, got to put these other teams in passing downs, got to get after the quarterback. Negative fans. Luann, this is a good question. Do you think Kayvon should be traded? Because if we draft Carter, he's gone. Because I read that he might be traded. No, you read it. I think that's a rumor that's out there. I do think if you do pick up Carter, absolutely, you could put Kayvon on the trading block. We haven't made the final decision on the 5th-year option for Kayvon Thibodeau. I do think that we pick it up. I do think they pick it up, but they can also trade him. But I don't think you trade. No, you definitely won't get anything before the draft. That's not going to happen unless there's a package deal to get up to number 1, and you put Kayvon Thibodeau and maybe Kayvon Thibodeau some picks and maybe even Jalen Hyde, and you give that to the Tennessee Titans. Maybe they take it like that. But if we pick up Abdul Carter, then I can see possible trade, but I don't think that happens. Because if you start trading, like he was a first round pick, Joe Shane has a, he wants to put it out there and make people believe like, he does a good job drafting, but these guys haven't been up to snuff. So I think they keep him. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did trade him. It's definitely an option. If I'm trading up for Ward, I would definitely put him in the package for sure if that's what gets it done. Could you imagine if Tennessee said, yeah, we'll take, we'll give you the number 1 pick. You got to give us the 1 back. You got to give us a 2 Kayvon and maybe a 2 next year. Yeah, I'm sorry, Kayvon. It's business, not personal, respectfully. My man Phil says, any chance we trade back to 5 if Hunter is there and pick up a 3rd rounder and still get Sanders at 5? I mean, if Sanders is there, hold on, let me read that again. Any chance we trade back to 5 if Hunter is there and pick up a 3rd rounder and still get Sanders at 5? Let me tell you this, Joe, Phil. If we're there at 3 and Hunter and Sanders are there and Joe Shane trades back, I think everybody around like you have to pick one of them. You have to pick one of them. And then there's also if you trade back to 5, there's no guarantee that you still get Sanders at 5 because you're giving up the 3rd pick and then you have the 4th pick. Who knows if the Patriots trade out and somebody trades up and then you're out on Hunter and Sanders. There's no way. You have to pick one of these guys at 3. You have to. Unless you're trading back 1 spot to 4. So say Hunter, okay. Hunter and Shador there at 3. And the Patriots want to give you some extra draft capital to move up, and they're going to take Hunter and they're not going to take Shador, then I will probably do that. Just for maybe an extra 2. Because you can't charge a lot to move up 1 spot. At least I don't think so. But that's the only trade back scenario. I'll trade back to 4. Trade back to 5, that might be too far. Then I'm missing out on all these guys. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because in that scenario, that means Carter went second to the Browns. So if you go back to 5, you miss out on Ward, Carter, Hunter, and possibly Shador Sanders too. Nah, I can't do it. Can't do it. People say, yeah, you trade Tibbs. TD Minus says if we can get Carter, Kayvon gonna cry in the car. Good Lord. Browns take Sanders at 2 is what my gut tells me. I think that's possible. I think it's possible for sure. If we get Abdul, Kayvon might get traded. No, that's what Luann was saying. Luann brought that up. Phil said exactly. Use Hunter as bait. Nah, I get it. Isaac says trade to 5 and take Mason Graham. That'd be a consolation prize, man. It'd be a consolation prize. My man Carmelo says keep KT. So listen, I'm not in the business of giving up good players. Definitely don't want to do that. A lot of people have short-term memory. Like remember Dex in the same scenario, Dexter Lawrence, right? Did he really earn the 5th-year option? It like Dexter Lawrence really didn't turn into Dexter Lawrence until what, year 4? What do you got? We got him in, was it 19, 20, 21. 22 was a switch. Yeah, year 4. Dex turned into Dex in year 4 after he got the 5th-year option, and we switched him to nose tackle. What's to say that Kayvon Thibodeau can't turn into something too in year 4, just like Dexter Lawrence did? I think he has the ability to do it. A lot of we've given up on Kayvon. A lot of us have given up on Kayvon. But has Joe Shane given up on Kayvon? That's the biggest question. I see a DeVito comment in the chat, but I don't know why. Terry, why are we bringing up DeVito? What I miss? TD Minus says QB supersedes grade value. That's a fact. That's a fact. Won't stop says Kayvon is a dog. He just need more. Yeah, that's a fact. He does. He has the speed rush, and then he has the bull rush. That's it. I think he's slow to the counter moves, and once he gets stuck, he kind of stops the drive. He kind of stops after once he gets if he gets to a second move and he's stalemated, then the play is pretty much over for Kayvon. It's pretty much over. He needs to add some more tools to the bag for sure. For sure. Max Custom Kick says, to be frank though, Dexter was clearly a good player and an elite run defender, but his issue was he was a first rounder that couldn't consistently pass rush, but he unlocked it. Yeah, no, that's a fact. Again, but he wasn't the Dexter Lawrence that we know Dexter Lawrence to be right now. Yes, he was solid. When he played next to Tomlinson, when he played next to Williams, he was solid. He was solid. But he wasn't Dex. He wasn't Dex yet. For what he looked like in 2021 versus what he looked like in 2022, two totally different players. Totally different players. Can Kayvon do that too? Because Kayvon has shown some flashes, not consistent enough, but he showed some flashes where hopefully he can get there consistently. That's the big question though. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Dex has been always solid for sure. Yeah. Like Dexter went from, like your point, solid, to damn near all pro. Getting snubbed for the all pro. Can Kayvon do that? I don't know. TG1 says KT needs to bulk up because right now he looks like the letter P. Nah, I'll tell you what though. Kayvon built like somebody that plays basketball at the pickup game. Like he's in shape for somebody on the street. That's what Kayvon Thibodeau looks like to me. Super skinny legs, but he looks like a regular person. Outside of him being 6'5", which is you're not just normal walking around at 6'5", 250 pounds. But when you just look at his build in comparison, he looks like just, a guy that's in good shape. He don't look like, Miles Garrett, nothing like that. But hey. Reckless, you must be watching it. Oh boy, he talking about Sean Carter's nice, but Sean Price is the best. So he went back to rap. Shout out to Sean Price. Amir, shout out to Amir. He says Tyler Booker or Jonah. I'm not even going to butcher his last name from Arizona. I like Jonah because of the versatility. He can play tackle. He can play guard. Tyler Booker is fantastic though. It'd be hard to pass up on Tyler Booker. I think they're different rounds. They're different prospects in different rounds. I could see Jonah might squeeze into the second round. I think he's a third to fourth rounder though. But Tyler Booker might even. There's a chance Tyler Booker can go in the first round, and that's kind of high for a guard. But Tyler Booker, oh, you know what? Tyler Booker is like can't miss guard, and I hate to say that about Alabama offensive lineman. I'd rather have Jonah in the third round and have a different defensive tackle in the second round than to have Tyler Booker in the second round. I'll put it that way. But as far as head-to-head better player, I think Tyler Booker is a better guard. Jonah gives you more versatility, though. And but Jonah does project better as a guard in the NFL. TD Myers, great point. He says Kayvon has to decide if he'll lean into his speed moves or be a bully. I think he needs to lean into his speed move. You can always go back into the bull rush. It's not hard to do a bull rush. It's kind of easy. It's the rest of the bag that he has to work on. Maybe a hand swipe move, a little bit more bend. Because he has the speed to do it, but he needs to add. Be better with his hands a little bit more. I need him to go learn some kung fu. Yeah, that's a fact. Mark says Booker is a man trained down, he'll destroy. That's a fact. Somebody else talked about DeVito. Better get Booker, Gray's able before Philly does. That's a Philly move for sure. Philly, no matter where Philly picks, they always end up getting good players. I can't stand Philadelphia, man. I can't stand Philadelphia. My man Terry says, how can we get rid of DeVito if we draft Shador and have hold on? How can we? Yeah, he didn't. How can we get rid of DeVito if we draft Shador and have Wilson and what do you mean how? You're not going to carry 4 quarterbacks. You're not going to carry 4 quarterbacks. If you draft Shador, DeVito will be on the squad until preseason is over, and then he'll probably be the practice squad quarterback. Period. I mean, yeah, I think he makes it through training camp, but then I don't think when the Giants are definitely not carrying 4 quarterbacks. We barely carry 3 quarterbacks. I did see a little bit. I saw the article, but I didn't see the names. The top 30 visit leaks. Yeah, I saw the article. Didn't get a chance to read it. Again, I was out of the loop today. I saw that right before I got on. Right before I started the live, though. I saw the story on Twitter, and I clicked the link. But by that time, I had like 5 minutes before the stream started, so I really didn't read the article. But let me know. Any surprise names on that list for the 30 visits? I know they had Cam Ward. I know Shador Sanders. They had Dart. Hunter is on there. Abdul Carter, of course. Some of the later round guys they had. What was the linebacker from UCLA was one of them. So I saw a couple of the names. Joe Blacco says Sanders or Carter. For me, is 1A, 1B. I like Sanders. Sanders or Carter. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Ward automatically. It's Sanders. The only person I'm putting in front of Sanders, and I'm really not doing it, is Cam Ward. That's the only player I'll pick over Sanders right now. The only one. I don't care who you put out there. So I'm taking Sanders over Hunter, Sanders over Carter, Sanders over Graham. I saw some mocks where they had us taking a offensive lineman at 3, the guy from Missouri, Membo. I'm not doing that. Crazy. Luann says, Dash, I just want to say thank you. I enjoy listening to you. Thank you very much. He says, especially now, I lost my mom again. Sorry for the loss again a month ago. Said that too when I first heard that. Had a mass for her today. Oh, okay. Again, my condolences, for your loss. He says, so you helped me get through the night. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Let's get our condolences for Luann in the comment section. Shout out to Won't Stop already. But now, Luann, I appreciate that. I appreciate any kind of comfort that I can provide in this difficult time. I'm here for that. I appreciate that. And thank you for sharing that. And I'm glad you get some kind of peace with that too. And again, my condolences, for your loss. 100%. My man James Hollis says Sanders ain't worth the number 3 if he won't play. It's different when it comes to quarterback. You know that. When did Drake May started playing? Drake May wasn't the starter at the beginning of the season, and then but he was worth that that pick, the 3rd pick last year. It's different when it comes to the quarterback. It's definitely different when it comes to the quarterback. You almost don't want your quarterback, forced to start. You don't want to throw him to the wolves. You want to give him the opportunity, to learn from, a competent veteran in front of him. It's different. It's different. Now, any other position, if you're drafting at 3, they better be the starter. I'm gonna ask you a question, James. We get Abdul Carter, and we decide to keep Kayvon Thibodeau. Is Abdul Carter the day 1 edge opposite Brian Burns, or will he eventually take over the spot for Kayvon Thibodeau? We don't know. For Travis Hunter, he's already not going to be the wide receiver 1. We just paid Darius Slayton $30-something million. You got Wandell. Obviously, I believe if we get Hunter, he'll be the wide receiver 2. Kind of. But then on the defensive side with Hunter, you're pretty much saying, okay, Tay Banks, you're to the bench because Tay Banks is not going to be in the slot. It's a tricky situation, but it's never the same when we talk about the quarterback, though. I see you got a rebuttal. He said, but Pats didn't have coaches on the hot seat. Tibbs is okay. No, they didn't. And it's crazy that he got fired after 1 year too. Gerard Mayo did not deserve that. He should have not been fired. I understand it's Vrabel. And I believe if Vrabel would have got fired a little bit earlier last year, I think they would have hired Vrabel last year over Mayo. But that situation was crazy. They did Mayo dirty with the Patriots. But in this scenario, I think right now today, Russell Wilson gives you the most wins until proven otherwise. Even if we get a guy like Shedeur Sanders, I want him to sit and learn a little bit. I don't want to throw him into the fire right away. Let this line get it together first before you throw it behind there. Let this line gel some more before you throw the rookie quarterback behind that, man. It's just a different scenario, though, bro. You understand? I know you understand. I'm going to say this. I appreciate everybody for their condolences for Luann in the chat. Great show of love and respect and stuff like that in the chat. So I appreciate you guys for doing that, sending your condolences, sending out your love to Luann in this difficult time, man. Again, my condolences as well still. They hired him just to fire him. That's a fact. The Patriots did Mayo dirty. Go ahead, say it with your chest. Won't stop. They told me bust down my AP. Perfect timing. I need a quarterback with some swag, man. And he can play. It's funny to me, and I say this all the time. When I think about New York City, when I think about the Giants, but when I think about New York City, I think about the lights, the Big Apple, the vibe of the city, the flashiness of the city, the money of the city. New York is the capital of the world for the most part. Almost everything. There's the Mecca, New York, the cockiness, the arrogance. And I want my quarterback to reflect the city. I've seen Shedeur talk trash and back it up. I've seen him be flashy and back it up. I've seen him put his team on his back, pull through, win games. I need that. And for the people that are down on Shedeur Sanders, all it takes is a couple of victories, a couple of good plays, a couple of touchdowns. You'll win us over for sure. If Daniel Jones was able to win people over in 2022 with the playoff victory, Shedeur Sanders, absolutely. He'll win a lot of these people over, a lot of the naysayers. It's just a matter of time. That's a fact. Times Square, the bright lights. Yes, the New York Giants, we need that. We've had the quiet quarterback, and it worked. Eli was quiet. It worked. Eli was tough as nails. Eli was gritty. Like we had that, like New York is gritty. New York is tough. Eli was tough, gritty. There's also just, the lunch pail part of New York City. The toughness of New York City. That's one thing too. And as flashy as Shedeur Sanders is, he's still gritty too. Again, take the hits, get back up, keep going. I love everything. I need that on this team. We've been boring for a long time. The last time we was flashy was what, Odell? Right? Odell? And people hated Odell too, man. That's crazy. I need that energy though. Could you listen, man? Don't get me started, man. Isaac says DJ has that deer in the headline. Yeah, in the headlights. Look, yeah, that's listen, man. I don't just want to keep on, it was a roller coaster ride for me with Daniel Jones. His rookie year, I thought he had something. The way he came in firing. I loved Tampa Bay, the Redskins right after. I'm sorry, the Commanders right after that, or the Washington football team. I forget what in 2019. Were they the Washington football team or still the Redskins at that time? I don't remember, and I don't care. But Daniel Jones showed us something, and he showed us something that rookie season. Enough for us to pass on Justin Herbert the year after that. And we know the story. After that, everything went downhill, and it is what it is. But I need some energy for the New York Giants, man. I love Russell Wilson. I like that he's bringing that, that veteran experience. I like that he's able to push the ball downfield, but it's still not that same energy that matches New York City. Go ahead, give me Shador, man. Terry White says it's a personal bias when it comes to Shador. It's that way for a lot of people, though. For a lot of people, whenever, yeah, it's a lot of people. It's personal. I understand that. And when people are upfront about it, I can respect it. People weren't high on Deion when he came out. Yeah. No, that's a fact. Says James Hollis says DJ more athletic than Sanders. Yeah. But what's the value of an athletic quarterback? You know, there's some good athletic quarterbacks out there. There's some good pocket passers too. You know, I don't need Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? I like Joe Burrow too. I like the way Lamar Jackson plays too, but it is what it is. I like the way Patrick Mahomes plays. I like the way, you know, Josh Allen plays. Athletic, you know, if you can be athletic too, it's not like Sanders is not Eli Manning when it comes to his athletic ability. We do understand that, right? And I think that him not being as athletic as his father actually helps him be a better quarterback. Could you imagine if Shador Sanders just had the legs of his father? He probably wouldn't be the best quarterback. You know, he probably wouldn't be able to, you know, he probably wouldn't go through his progressions the way that he does because, you know, he always knows I can get out and I can escape with my legs. I mean, listen, you know, he couldn't have everything. Could you imagine, man, if he had his father's legs? Oh my God, that'd be ridiculous. TD Midas, you get it, man. You get it. Shador is literally the embodiment of a New York attitude. That's a fact. And I'm from New Jersey. I'm not even from New York, but I'm from North New Jersey. I understand what it is. It's a vibe. It's different. Everything, the flashiness, that's New York. The toughness, that's New York. The gritty, that's New York. Trash talking, that's New York. And it's not even like a race thing. That's across all races when it comes to New York. Black, white, Italians, Irish, Jewish, flashy, gritty, trash talking. It is what it is. Shout out to Jersey in the building, man. Was it Karen Rock or Kareem? Rock, Jersey City, 201. Shout out to the 201. That's a fact. 908 in the building for me. My man D Smirk says, Nook, stand up. Shout out to Nook. What part of Newark you from, bro? You from the wards or where you from? What ward? Or you from east side? Or nah, I'm messing with you. 963. 97. I'm about to say 963. Now he corrected himself. 97. Shout out to the 973. Shout out to Essex County. Bayonne, okay. I mean, we smoked Bayonne my senior year in high school. We smoked them. Shout out to my man Patrick Moore too. He from Bayonne. North Newark, all right. TD Midas says township, okay. I know what you meant, D Smirk. Got Delaware in the building. Shout out to Delaware. Mikey says Yonkers. That's a fact. Shout out to Yonkers. Right across the bridge, too. We calm it down, man. We're already at an hour and a half in here. I'm going to get to all these comments. I had some other points to talk about, man. We already an hour and a half in. Maybe I'll leave it for next week. Queens get the money. There it is. Dollar bill. It was a Michael Thwaites. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thwaites. Hopefully that's right. Watch it be something totally different. My man Larry says, Larry's wig lady. That's a name. He says Russ brings professionalism. Let's draft Hunter and pick a quarterback. Come on, man. Larry, you can't come in the building and do that, man. Larry, you're a can kicker. You like to kick the can down the road, Larry. I'm messing with you. I'm playing with you. I'm joking with you. But you want to keep kicking that can down the road, man. We can't keep kicking that can down the road, Larry. I'm sorry. We can't keep doing that, man. I'm not with the kicking the can down the road anymore. My man Thunder, shout out to Thunder. He says Brooklyn, Jackson, Tampa. It's a lot of different areas there, brother. Shout out to the 718. Luann is in Yonkers too. That's shout out to Yonkers, man. I did say your name right. Perfect. That's what's up. Foxy says Russ isn't good anymore. Stop. Russ ain't Russ. Russ ain't the magician anymore. He's not Houdini anymore. I understand that. But just think about how bad the quarterback play has been. I don't even want to say it because knock on wood. Russ can't be worse than what we had the past 2 seasons. Knock on wood. He can't be worse than what we had the last 2 seasons. Let Russ cook. Perfect timing, Isaac. Let Russ cook. He got it, man. He got it this year. We can't do nothing about it. Russ got it this year. It's his team right now, Mr. Unlimited. Mr. Unlimited. Yo, I hated that. Mr. Unlimited. Russ is corny, man. Let's be honest. Russ is corny as hell. Russ is corny, man. I love Russ. I love that Russ is corny, though. At least he's authentic. Russ is authentic. Russ is corny as hell, though, man. Shout out to Russ. Don't clip that up. Shout out to Russ. But Russ is corny. It's corny. Hey, guess what? He winning though. He winning. Shout out to Russ. Thunder says very corny. Yeah. Russ is a comic book. Yeah. Listen, he's authentic though. He's authentic, man. And I appreciate people that are real. And Russ, that's one thing Russ is. Russ is real. He is real. TP Way says if Russ looks like the rest of the quarterbacks we've had, then it should be no doubt that the coaches deserve the attention. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. If he looks just as bad, that means yeah. But I already felt that way before. But if Russ looks horrible, yeah, Brian Dable ain't surviving that. Nope, he ain't surviving that. Dable might not survive it either. Won't stop says Theo Johnson breakout. See. I hope so. I hope he can stay healthy. First of all, I hope he can stay healthy. And I think he has the ability to be a great tight end. He has the size. He has the athleticism. He got to clean up some of the drop issues. But there's some potential there with Theo Johnson. And that's crazy. I came a long way, too, because when we drafted Theo Johnson, I was kind of upset because I'm a big Daniel Bellinger fan, and I think we did Daniel Bellinger dirty. But I also said at the time too, all these other teams, they have 2 tight ends. Dallas got 3 tight ends, but everybody else uses 2 tight ends, and we can barely use 1, and that's an issue. That's an issue for me. But I thought what Daniel Bellinger showed in his rookie season, despite getting his eyeball almost knocked out, he came back and still played well after that. I think we did him dirty. We picked up Darren Waller and we put him on the back burner. We turned him into a glorified fullback. And then, the next year we draft Theo Johnson and he couldn't get on the field. It's just crazy to me. We picked up Chris Manhertz. He became, the second tight end, blocking tight end, and Daniel Bellinger couldn't even get the snaps. Daniel Bellinger is one of those guys that I think if he doesn't get, the tight end 2 snaps this year, this is his final season. This is his 4th year. He's going to get picked up by somebody, and he's going to be a lot better somewhere else. He is. That's a fact. Isaac says Waller was a disaster. Yeah, I drank the Kool-Aid on the Waller thing. Everything I thought Waller was going to be didn't happen. We saw glimpses of it early, like the Arizona game in that second half. We saw it a little bit. But it was a disappointment because, again, solid quarterback play was one thing. That Miami game was fantastic with Waller, too. I forgot about the Miami game was a good game. But, yeah, it just didn't. We needed a number 1 wide receiver, and they just gave us a number 1 tight end. And Daniel Jones needed more than that. Well, we ended up figuring out, Daniel Jones was the problem. But, we needed a wide receiver 1 then, too. Foxy says Russ on starting job in his rookie year against the vet quarterback, maybe Oh, you're talking about what was that? Matt Flynn. Yeah. The Seahawks gave Matt Flynn all that money. They drafted Russell Wilson and he beat him out. So yeah, I can see that happening. Listen, I mean, Russ understands. He sees the writing on the wall. I think, like, again, the one thing that saves Russ this year, if we do draft a quarterback, it's if he wins and he looks very, very good, and these guys are on the hot seat. But if this was a fresh regime, we picked up Russell Wilson and then we added Shedeur Sanders, the rope wouldn't even be long. It wouldn't be a long rope for Russ Wilson. It will probably be like the 5th, 6th game, and then Shedeur Sanders probably will start after that. I'm comfortable with Shedeur Sanders, starting this year for sure. I just need the offensive line to gel before we throw him back there, for sure. And I don't want his first game to be against like the Philadelphia Eagles or something like that. What's going on, Mellow Trades? He says, Big Dash, what's good? What's going on, Mellow? Said Thunder said Waller was love sick when he was here. Yeah, he was a little love. He was going through it, man. He was going through some drama. Ended up getting in a divorce and everything. He was going through it. Derek Jones with a question. Derek Jones says, why take Shedeur when we already have a starting quarterback? Because it's not about just 2025. That's the main reason, Derek. It's about the long picture. It's not about the short term. It's about the long picture, and we need a starter for years to come. That's what it's about. And the guys that we have right now, the starter that we have right now is short term. Russell Wilson got a 1-year contract with a lot of incentives, which means, we'll pay you this 10.5 base. But we're going to throw everything else in as an incentives, making it to the playoffs, an incentive. The amount of touchdowns is an incentive. The yardage is an incentive. Playoff victory as an incentive. There's a lot of incentives there. He's not going to get his contract was 10.5 with the incentives that can get him all the way up to 21 million. He's not hitting that 21 million mark. That's not happening. But that's the reason why you still take a quarterback. You know what I mean? We already have a number one wide receiver. Why take Hunter? We have Poston and Debo and Tate Banks. Why take Hunter? It's about the long picture, not the short picture. Future, yeah, won't stop. Let them know, future, bro, future. That's it. It's about the future, not just about 2025. Larry's wig lady. I'm gonna just call you Larry, brother. I'm just gonna call you Larry respectfully. He says, take a quarterback next year. Derek is right. Build a team first. A lot of people feel the way that you guys feel. A lot of people do. A lot of people want to take, the 49er route. I will say this, the 49ers are outliers. That situation is an outlier, and then it's plug and play when it comes to quarterback for the 49ers. If you can build a team, but also I'll say this too. If you're building this team, right, I'm assuming that when you build this team, that means the team is good. If the team is good, that means you're going to win more games. If you win more games, that means you're going to be out of the position to take these quarterbacks in the next year that we're talking about. Or it's going to be harder to get, up to where you can get one of these top tier quarterbacks. So that's the argument. It goes back and forth. It depends on where people are falling on the conversation. But for me, is when you have a chance to get a quarterback, you take them. I will say this too, though. When I look at this roster, when you look at the New York Giants, when you look at their roster, you got players at almost every level now this year. When you look at the defensive line, you got Dex in the front seven, along with Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau. When you look at the second level, you have Micah McFadden, who's coming along. You have Bobby Okereke. And then when you look at the secondary now, especially after this offseason, you have Newman, who's coming off a strong rookie season. Phillips coming off a strong rookie season. You pick up Javon Holland. You pick up Poston Debo. You can say that on the defensive side, this team is pretty built up. Now you go to the offense. Andrew Thomas can't stay healthy. That's one of the main issues when it comes to the offensive line. It's been musical chairs in the interior. So you're looking at JMS like, okay, he's the only consistent thing there, but it's musical chairs next to him. And then, of course, Evan Neal is Evan Neal. Now, if Andrew Thomas can stay healthy, if JMS can be the person that we thought he can be, you already have Runyon coming back. We got to figure out what's going to happen with Evan Neal, but you have Van Roten and Illuminor. You can say that it's built up a little bit. When you look at the backfield, Tyrone Tracy is emerging. Could he be a superstar? We don't know yet, but he looks pretty damn good. And then when you look at the wide receivers right now, you have Neighbors. You have Slayton, who's a pretty good wide receiver too. I think his role is better as a wide receiver 3, but we gave him wide receiver 2 money. Then you have Wan'Dale Robinson. If we can actually get the ball to Hyatt, stuff like the team is, when you look at the roster, when you look at it on paper, is not that far off. The main issue is the quarterback. I'll give you another example. Think about the Washington Commanders, right? That roster is trash. That offensive line was trash. What was the big difference between those? They got the quarterback. The quarterback made everybody else better. He made everybody else better. And now, all of a sudden, when you look at the Commanders, they look like contenders now. Well, they actually are contenders now. And it only took 1 year because the quarterback affects the team so much more than any other position out there. We can't sit here and try to build a super team and then wait for like the perfect quarterback to just come along and save us. I keep saying it. The Messiah ain't coming to save the New York Giants. It's not happening. We got to take some chances while we're waiting, though. And guess what? Maybe that Messiah doesn't look like we thought he was going to look like for some people out there. The person that's going to save the Giants, you know what I mean? Some people know what I mean. It is what it is. My man Mellow Trades, I'm sorry. Yeah, Mellow Trades says he's replying to TD Minus. I hear you, bro, but we've been dealing with Jones for 5 years. We have 2 quarterbacks better than him now. Yeah, listen, Mellow Trade, I understand why you're saying that. I understand, but they're all short term. Short term. Isaac says, man, I wanted JD5 so bad. So did Brian Dable. Brian Dable wanted JD5 too. When Joe Shane asked him, would you trade up for Daniel Jones? I mean, sorry, Daniel Jones. Good Lord. When Joe Shane said, would you trade up for Jaden Daniels? Did you see his face? Did you see Brian Dable's face when he asked him that? He said yes. And it was very quick. Perfect timing. You already know what it is. We on the same wavelength right now. We operating on the same frequency. Won't stop. We we vibing right now. It is what it is. That's a great point too, Fox. And Malik been crying to get him a good quarterback. How long till they get the job? Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing too. When for the people that want to kicking the can down, hopefully I'm not picking on you. I'm not picking on, because you're not the only person saying to kick the can down the road. A lot of people are saying that. We just saw a situation where the Cleveland Browns with Myles Garrett, he wrote a note to the city, to the team, saying that he wants to be traded. He doesn't feel like he can win here. Obviously, he got more money and he shut up. But how many years are we going to waste these players? Like Andrew Thomas is not getting any younger. Dexter Lawrence is not getting any younger. We just got Malik Neighbors, and you can see in his face already, he's tired of losing too. We got guys that want to win right now. We can't keep kicking this can down the road. Like, what are we looking for? Like, in all honesty, what are we looking for? The whole idea of building this perfect team and then miraculously getting a quarterback. Nah, he said next year, Nico. Is Nico even coming out next year? I think Nico comes out in 2027. That's the Tennessee kid. But now you're just throwing names out there. You know what I mean? You're just throwing, and he showed some promises here for sure. I like him. You got Klubnik. You got, I think next year's class, the top 3 guys in the class next year are going to be Nussmeier, Aller, and Klubnik. I think Nico stays an extra year. But those are going to be your top 3 guys, in my opinion, are those 3. You know what I mean? I'll take Shador right now, if we're going to be honest. And Nuss. Yeah, I like Nuss. I like Nussmeier a lot. TD, who brought up Milroe? I didn't bring up Milroe. Said, Lord, I hate Milroe so much. Did somebody bring up Milroe? Milroe was, I see it. Mellow Trade says, I take Hunter and possibly Milroe if he's available. Let me ask you a question, Mellow. Because you brought up the athleticism too, for Sanders too. I think that was you that brought up the athleticism. We said Jones is more athletic than Sanders. You like running quarterbacks, huh? Let me know if you like you like running quarterbacks. I think I got you figured out a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with liking running quarterbacks. But because what you're bringing up and the points that you're hitting at, you want somebody that's athletic. I understand. You want somebody that can take it to the house, a quarterback that can pull it down and take it to the house. I understand that. But sometimes you don't have that option. Mo Stack says Milroe can barely throw to a stop sign. Listen. Mo said that. I ain't say it. Nah, Milroe definitely got some developing to do. He definitely got some developing to do. I think his athleticism makes it okay, but I think one of the best comparisons for me for Milroe is Anthony Richardson. Cautionary tale. Now, the difference between Quentin Richardson and Jalen Milroe started more seasons than Quentin Richardson did. So I think he's more seasoned than Quentin Richardson was, but I think Quentin Richardson's arm talent was a little bit better than Milroe. No. Mo Stack says, talking to TG1, says that's Dylan Raiola. Yeah. Yeah, Raiola's pretty good. He's not coming out till 2027 either, though. He might be able to come out next year, but I doubt it. I think he comes out with that year when his arch, like the quarterback that a lot of people aren't talking about is the kid from Florida, DJ Lagway. That's the guy. Like DJ Lagway is not a household name for a lot of people yet. DJ Lagway, yeah. DJ Lagway is in 2027 and 2028, DJ Lagway is probably going to be the top prospect. I think he might be the guy he might be even over Arch Manning, if I'm just being honest, because he already got on the field this year. He started this year. Florida was actually dumb that they didn't play him earlier, because they probably would have won a lot more games. My man was a D Black 1020 says, who will be the true number 2 wideout? I am sick of Slayton. I'm sorry to tell you, but Slayton gonna be the number 2. Depending on what happens if we get Travis Hunter, then he might not be number 2. But right now, you might as well get you a barf bag, man. You're gonna be sick. Slayton is number 2 wide receiver. I like Slayton though. Slayton is over reliable to me. He had all those issues with dropping the ball early on in his career, but whenever you needed to play, Slayton would give it to you. He'd give it to you. TD Midas says, what's Milroe's ceiling? Here's my question, an even better question. What's his floor? I don't even know what his floor is. Like he got to get to his floor before he gets to his ceiling. Like just the simple pre-snap, post-snap reads and stuff like that. Being able to read the defense consistently and be right and on time. Like his athletic ability is fantastic. He has a quick release that saves him a lot, but his recognition is not really there that much. I mean, on predetermined passes, the RPO, he's quick slants and stuff like that. He's pretty quick, accurate with the crossing routes. But anything 15 yards and that needs to develop, that's when you start to lose it, and that's when he pulls the ball down and he runs it. Floor is the basement. That's crazy. Milroe, floor, Tyler Huntley. Good Lord. Tyler Huntley. Good Lord, man. You guys are cruel, man. Was it Pistol 27? Pete Pistol. Yeah, okay, Pistol Pete. Pistol 20. Shout out to New York, man. Give me Abdul Carter and Derek Harmon. Our trenches become a big factor. Yes. I like Derek Harmon a lot. Abdul Carter to me becomes redundant in this situation because I still do think that Tibbs can be salvaged, for lack of a better word, I guess. But if we had Abdul Carter and had Derek Harmon, I'm not mad at that. Obviously I want the quarterback, but I wouldn't be mad at adding those two guys to the defense. That would be two fantastic, additions. I do believe that in the second round we get one of those top defensive tackles though. I do think that's a must. Derek Harmon, I would love to put Derek Harmon next to Dexter Lawrence. Derek Harmon, and the funny thing about it is Derek Harmon reminds me of Leonard Williams. If you go back and watch some of those Orlando Oregon games. Derek Hartman reminds me of Leonard Williams. Great motor, can help in the pass rush. Also, is good in the run defense as well. I believe Derek Hartman is about 6'4", 300, 305, 310 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. But I like Derek Hartman a lot. But he reminds me of Leonard Williams. I would love to add that next to Dexter Lawrence. I'm sure Dexter Lawrence will love that too. draft Hunter and put Slayton at wide receiver 3. That'll happen. One thing I'll say this too about the wide receiver room. When it comes to Wan'Dale Robinson, and I'm gonna ask this question. I want to see how people feel about it. When it comes to Wan'Dale Robinson, right? Do you feel like he has to be, the every down slot wide receiver? I feel like this. The best wide receiver on the field, obviously, is Malik Neighbors, right? He gives you that versatility. But a lot of people they don't remember. They don't remember how lethal Malik Neighbors was in the slot at LSU. And for me, I hate the Dallas Cowboys, but I would love to use Malik Neighbors like the Cowboys use CeeDee Lamb. I say it all the time. I don't want to say, Neighbors can't get snaps to slot because Wan'Dale Robinson. No, Wan'Dale can be the gadget guy, in my opinion. Line him up in the backfield on some plays, put him in motion, line him up in the slot. But I don't want Neighbors to not get snaps at slot because we got to give Wan'Dale Robinson the ball. I don't want that to happen. And again, hopefully that doesn't come off like a knock on Wan'Dale Robinson. I'm just saying the ability of Malik Neighbors is being limited because we're not putting them in the slot more. Yeah. Luann asks, any offensive linemen that you like? Yes, some day 3 guys though. Because I don't think we go offensive line early unless some people fall in some perfect spots like 65 and 99. If you get a guy like Tate Ratledge there, Ariante Ursary from Minnesota, those are 2 people that I'll probably look at 65 and at 99. Tate Ratledge from Georgia, I like a lot. I like his demeanor, tough, strong, a road grader too. I just like that attitude. Wears a mullet. Give me a lineman with a mullet. But no, I like those guys. On day 3, if you get a chance, look up Luke Kandra from Cincinnati. There's also a left tackle, John Williams, that I like a lot from Cincinnati. There's a kid from Oregon that's a guard. What's his name? Connor Colby. And then there's a kid from Oregon State. Damn, the name Joshua. Joshua from Oregon State. Joshua Gray. I like Joshua Gray too. So there's some linemen that I do like. And I do think we need to get younger, but also I think Jake Kubas can be something too. And then here's the thing too. If Evan Neal, which we already know Evan Neal is making that move to guard. If Evan Neal turns out to be a solid guard, your offensive line might actually be solved for a little bit. Now, eventually we'll have to replace Jermaine Illuminor because he's getting older, but he's a tackle. Jermaine Illuminor is 29 years old. He can play another 3-4 years for sure if we're able to get him signed. So if Evan Neal could turn out to be a good guard, then our old line should be solved for a little bit. But go ahead and give me another lineman in the draft, guard, center, tackle. I'll take that for sure. Isaac Morris says we better draft a wide receiver. Where, though? That's the question. Where, Isaac? Where you want to draft a wide receiver? Let me know which round and what guys you're thinking about. I'm not even watching the games. Said Duke running away with it. I'm not surprised, though. It's not that I don't like Wan'Dale. Luann says I love little Wan'Dale. No, I like Wan'Dale. I like but he's a gadget guy though. He's a gadget guy in my opinion. You know what frustrates me about the Wan'Dale situation, and it goes back to the quarterback. But when I think about this quarterback that he had at Kentucky, it was Will Levis, and Will Levis ain't good either. But Will Levis was able to get the ball to Wan'Dale in stride, and Wan'Dale is a yak monster. But every time we threw the ball to Wan'Dale, he was either jumping and falling down for it, going out of bounds, falling to the ground. It was The quarterback has a lot to do with what's going on, though. Our opinions on the people that we have right now are skewed because of the quarterback play. I'll say that. Oh, we hit the 2-hour mark. You're going to wrap this thing up, man. We're already going for 2 hours, man. I appreciate everybody for vibing with me, too, man. Still 138 strong. Make sure you hit that like button. Let me see if I missed anything. My bad for the super chat. I got to just now getting to the super chat. So my man Jan 300 with the 199 super chat. He says, "What's good, Big Dash? Your thoughts on Sanders at 3?" Where you been, Jan? Where you been, brother? We've been talking about Sanders for almost 2 hours now, man. Off and on. I want Shedeur Sanders at 3, 100%. That's where I'm at. That's one. Let me know what you think, though. Let me know what you think. And then my man Don J with the 199 super chat. He says, "Get Kyron Lacy from LSU in day 3. He'd be the number 2." I'll say this about I would love to reunite Kyron Lacy with Malik Neighbors. They played together at LSU. I don't know the full details of the court case situation that he got going on. I think because of that, he didn't get an invite to the combine because of that court case situation. I don't want to speak on the situation too much. If you know, you know. There's a chance that he might be a UDFA because of this situation. I will absolutely bring in Kyron Lacy on a UDFA contract. It's low risk because we don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. Like I said, again, it's been a long time since I checked up on the details. I don't know the updates. I don't know if everything is wrapped up or not, or if there's something that's going to happen in the future. But if he becomes well, I'll say this too. If he's there in the 7th round, because again, I think a lot of teams are going to shy away from him until maybe that 7th round. If he's there in the 7th round, I would give up that. I would use the 7th round pick, that second 7th round pick on him. And then if he is a UDFA, I think it's a strong chance. If he becomes a UDFA, I think he would want to come here and play with Malik Neighbors again. But that's my thoughts on Kyron Lacy, though. And hopefully, hoping for the best with this situation. So it's some Jalen Hyatt slander going on. Shout out to my man Derek Jones. He says Hyatt ain't faster, better than Darius Slayton. I can't say he's not. I can't say he's not. I think he's even Russell Wilson said he's untapped potential. We just got to give him the ball, man. Just got to give him the ball. Miles Frazier from LSU. Miles Frazier, that's the tight end? Is Miles Frazier the tight end? I don't know. I can't remember for sure. I think Miles Frazier is the tight end, though. Hold on, is he the guard or the tight end? Because they got Campbell's a tackle. Is Frazier the tight end or the guard? Shout out to my man Coach Ed in the building. What's going on, Coach Ed? So, like, again, when we get these fantastic Giants content creators or either just sports content creators in the building, I like to show them some love. Shout out to me. If you're not subscribed to my man Coach Ed, make sure you go ahead and do that. You know what I'm gonna do? I got to get like a spreadsheet, and I got to get all the links to some of my favorite people's channels. That way I can start sharing these links. That way people can get out there, and I'm actually going to work on that. Maybe I'll work on that tomorrow. That way I can get these links and put them in the comment section. That way people can find these pages and subscribe to these channels, because there's a lot of fantastic Giants and sports content creators out there that are not getting the same kind of support and love that they should be getting or that they deserve to get. And Coach Ed is one of those guys for sure. And shout out to Coach Ed. Thank you for being in the building. Coach Ed, one of my most trusted voices when it comes to talking football, especially when it comes to the offensive lineman. A coach for how many years now? Coach, you've been coaching for what, 30, 40 years? Shout out to Coach Ed, man. Shout out to Coach Ed. But let me get to what he was saying. I just did a draft and selected Kyron Lacy in the 4th round and Jimmy Horn in the 7th. You got Kyron. I don't think he, like, his talent. He got 4th round talent for sure. I even think his talent is better than that. I just think that court case is going to push him out of the draft, man. But I think he's talented enough to go there. Jimmy Horn is another person that the more and more I watch Jimmy Horn, the more and more, what's the word I'm looking for? The more and more I like him. I didn't really like his smoothness in and out of his cuts and in and out of his routes. crazy. He does not lose speed in his route running, and it's crazy to see. It's so smooth, and it's like effortless. So if you get a chance, and you don't need, just pull up the highlights. You don't got to go look at all 22 film or nothing like that when it comes to these wide receivers. You can one thing about wide receivers, you can look at highlights when you talk about wide receivers, right? But if you look at Jimmy Horn, especially on like a crossing route, somewhere where he catches the ball over the middle, he does not lose speed from the time he catches the ball, or from the time he's in his routes catching the ball in the yak after that. He does not slow down. It doesn't look like he needs to slow down. He is so smooth, it's crazy. Wandell is Wayne Corbett. I wish. Yeah, that's a fact. He says it's Shedeur Sanders or nothing. I'm with you. It's Shedeur Sanders or nothing. That's where I'm at with it, man. Nah, don't worry about it, Jay. I was just messing with you, man. He said I've been at work, my bad. Listen. It is what it is. But we were talking about Sanders for the whole episode for the most part, off and on. I was just messing with you though, man. I respect it, man. I can't knock you working. You know what I mean? Putting food on the table. I can't knock you for that. I was just messing with you. Luann asked a question, when will you be on again? I try to keep it every Friday, man. And then once the season starts, I might add an extra, a day of the week. Especially before the games. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm trying to make it like one of the better channels in the Giants community. So I definitely want to start adding some people to the mix, getting some interviews done. Try to get some players, hopefully. Former players and current players, to see what happens with that. They're a little stingy when it comes to letting their players, who they allow their players to talk to. When it comes to YouTube, they're a little bit, wild with that, or strict with that, I should say. But definitely got some things in the works that I want to bring to the table, and hopefully, make this channel even bigger than it is right now. And again, that thanks to you guys, it is where it is right now. And I love the support for sure. But definitely got some plans. Definitely want to get some people out on the show, get some interviews and do some stuff like that, and let you guys interact with them, because we see a lot of shows where it's like a lot of the interviews are like pre-recorded and stuff like that, and the chat doesn't get a chance to talk to the person, the guest on the show and stuff like that. But I definitely want to be one of those channels where everybody, the chat is involved. It's not just me interviewing somebody, but you guys can get your questions off as well. I definitely want to have something, bring that type of environment, or bring that type of show, to the Giants community. So I'm definitely working on some things, man. Definitely want to get this channel is nowhere near a finished product at all. We're still working. We're still grinding over here for sure. Gotta, working on some things for sure, man. My man Derek Jones says, if our D is now close to being very good, then let's finish the. What do you mean though? Let me see what you say. Eagles just won the Super Bowl because of their great defense. I see what you mean. I saw what you're saying. Okay, I'm caught up now. Luann says, I want to put up my channel. I know my sports. Oh, the best thing I can say to you, Luann, is do it. Do it. The hardest part and the first step of it is just hitting the record button. Look at me. I sat down I watched a lot of Giants content creators for years. I went back and forth. I was active on Twitter, active on Instagram, active on Facebook at the time too, just talking about the New York Giants. And then I think after what was it? After 2020, 2021, I thought about starting a channel, and then my wife was like, all you do is talk about the New York Giants. You should start the channel. And in 2022, right after Joe Shane and them got here, May of 2022 is when I started my channel. And a lot of those early videos was corny as hell. It was crazy. I had a script. It was robotic. It was crazy. And then, over time I got more comfortable, got more relaxed. But the first step is just going out there, putting yourself out there, put out the content, and if people are vibing with you, I'll support you for sure. But if people are vibing with you, you start to gain some traction, and that's the best thing that I can tell you. Just do it. Decent. Like, even when I first started, the mic was trash. I wasn't even on camera at first either. And then you get more and more comfortable. And I don't want to sound like a teacher or anything like that, but that's the best thing I can tell you, Luann, is just go ahead and do it. And it pans out. It pans out. Let's see what I miss. I'll say Fox said we need people like Bigger. What you talking Bigger? You don't follow the crowd and narrative. You're a real one who's standing what is good for the team. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Man, how long will it take to catch the damn Eagles? Tired of. Listen, I hate the Eagles, Mello. I hate the Eagles more than the Cowboys. I know some people hate the Cowboys more than the Eagles. I can't stand the Eagles, bro. I can't listen. And this is very, very selfish of me. I can't wait for the Giants to be good just so I can talk trash. Just so I can talk trash. Like, you see me now, humble. Well, I'm always humble. That's just me. I'm humble. But I want to be able to talk trash and be taken seriously. And because the Giants have not been good for so long, I can't go into a room, whether it's virtual or actual room, with other fans of other teams and be able to talk trash without people laughing. Oh, you're a Giants fan. This is what you. I can't wait, because when that happens, I got some energy for a lot of people, man. I might be unbearable. Once the New York Giants have some success, boy, it's gonna be, yeah. Tune in for that. When the New York Giants are good again, tune in for that, because it's going to be very, very entertaining once that happens. Give me my quarterback, please. Give me the quarterback, please. That's a fact, man. Luann says, "Thank you. I have a job. I would have to I would have to make time, but thank you. I got a job too. You'll find the time for it. Especially like I said, right now you haven't taken that first step yet. But watch. Once you get a couple of shows out there and you get more comfortable, you'll like it. Like, look at me. I do lives on Saturdays, because I got the most time on Saturdays to do that. Throughout the week, I drop my pre-recorded content, throughout the week. But look at us. We're 2 hours and 15 minutes almost into this live. You know what I mean? I got this type of time on Saturdays, and you don't have to be, every day with it. Do it when you like. Like, for me, it's not about the money. For me, it's not about, I would love for the channel to be a big channel, but it's not about being the biggest channel or thought of as the best channel. It's about being able to talk to y'all. I'm a Giants fan, just like you guys are Giants fans. I don't value my opinion more than your opinion. I like to debate people. I like to go back and forth. If we don't agree with something, or we have different ideas of a certain situation, then that's fine. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm better than anybody else, man. And I think that when you guys come to this channel and we do go back and forth in the comment section, I enjoy that. I'm not just here to lecture people. That's not my style. I like to have conversations. And especially when we talk about when we're in these lives and I get a chance to react off the people's comments, that's the best time for me. I have fun just reading the comments and going back and forth with people, building those type of relationships. Listen, it's a lot of people on here that I have not met in person, but I feel like I know you guys. You guys are in these lives consistently. I see the names. I know the names. When I see some of the comments, I kind of know, what you guys are thinking and how you guys feel about certain situations. And I think that, and this is just my opinion, when a lot of these, I hate to say this, some of these other channels, you might not get that same feeling. I don't know for sure. I can't say that for everybody. I'm just speaking for myself. But I hopefully I bring you guys that, man. Hopefully you guys feel like we're having a conversation and I'm not just lecturing to y'all. I hope so. At least that's my goal, man. That's my goal. For sure. But yo, we are 2 hours. We are 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm gonna wrap this thing up again. I thank everybody for vibing with me on a Saturday night. You guys could have been anywhere, but you're here with me. Shout out to Jay-Z. Shout out to Jay-Z. But yeah, man, yeah, I'm about to get out of here. I'm gonna make sure I hit all these. Make sure I didn't miss any super chats, and make sure I don't miss any comments as well. Derek, man, come on, brother. And a lot of people say this, Derek. It says, just don't take Shedeur. I'm assuming spell check got you. Just don't take Shedeur just to take a quarterback. We are good. We are good for the next 3 years. We are not good for the next 3 years. We are not good for the next 3 years. The only person that has a guaranteed contract in 2026 is Jameis Winston. We are not good for the next 3 years. And for me, and this is how I feel about Shedeur Sanders, I don't feel like I'm just taking a quarterback just to be taking a quarterback. If that's the case, I wouldn't be mad at getting Jalen Milroe or Jackson Dart or what's the kid Will from Ohio State or freaking Quinn Ewers, Kyle McCord. I wouldn't mind trading for Joe Milton. If it was just about having a quarterback, it's not just to me. Shedeur Sanders is just not just another quarterback. I really do believe that Shedeur Sanders can put this team on his back. I think the pieces that we have on this team already, I think he can do something with that. I feel that way about Cam Ward, and I feel that way about Shedeur Sanders. I don't feel that way about Jackson Dart. I don't feel that way about Jalen Milroe. I don't feel that way about Tyler Shaw or any of these other guys like that. It just is what it is. Shout out to Brett, says late dash, thanks. Late night Giants talk, man. Late night Giants talk. G-Man, what's going on? Don't apologize, brother. We had a good time, man. We had a good time. You can go back and watch it though, but we did have some good conversations today. The chat was heavy, and we did talk about a couple of details. But once the chat started going, man, we just started reacting off of the conversations in the chat. So you didn't miss much. A lot of Shedeur talk is going to be that way for the next 3 weeks. Talking about Joe Shane building up the team and stuff like that. Talked about if we don't take a quarterback, where else we can go. But it is what it is. I appreciate that, Karen. You says yes, Big Dad shows us love on this. I hope so. I'm glad you feel that way. Tyrone Hall said it's you and Big Pat, Aboriginal Sports Network. That's a fact. Shout out to those guys over there, man, and everybody else. That's another thing too. It's about the community. I show love to all the other Giants content creators because they showed me love too. They showed me love when I first got started. Pat was one of those guys too. I remember being on Pat's show with Coach Ed and Big Lou and all those guys over there. Shout out to them. And they showed me a lot of love, man, when I first got started. And I appreciate that. And hopefully for the people that are up and coming too, hopefully I can show them that same kind of love too. Because again, we still haven't gotten to the coalition episodes too. We're gonna get these roundtables going. You know what? Maybe that'll be the theme next week. I'm gonna send out a couple emails to some people, a couple direct messages to people, and see if we can start getting these coalitions. I think I can fit as many. I think I can fit 10 people on it. I think that's what the StreamYard allows me to do. It might be 10 or 12. I don't know for sure. I gotta check the package, but I definitely think that I think the chat would like that, to get some other people from other channels on here so we can have these roundtables and have these discussions, and hopefully everybody enjoys that too, man. But I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I was gonna say, what's going on, Matt Customs? Thank you very much, Derek Jones, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Isaac Moore, that's a fact. If the Browns take Shedeur, we got to pivot. Yeah, we pivoting right to Hunter. That's what the pivot is. The pivot is Hunter. It's Shedeur and Hunter. That's it. Let's be Giants. What's going on, family? So just got off work. I feel that, man. I appreciate you still for stopping by. We're gonna wrap this thing up though, man. We're gonna wrap this thing up. Let me go ahead and turn this music off for a second. Let me stop that real quick. Get back to my comments. I want to close with this, man, because we got, like I said, we got the draft in 19 days, right? And no matter what happens, I know that everybody in here are going to support the New York Giants going into the 2025 season, and I hope for the best. If I don't get the player that I want at the end of the day, I'm still rooting for the Giants. I still bleed blue at the end of the day. I'm hoping for the best for the Giants. I'm hoping for the best for Joe Shane and Brian Dable. I want this team to be successful because I bleed blue. I hope that's the same for everybody else. Because I know a lot of people are 50-50 on Shedeur Sanders. They don't like him. Some people love him. No matter who the pick is going to be, I think they're going to be a solid player for the New York Giants. I'm hoping for the best with Russell Wilson. Jameis Winston, those additions, I think they do bring a lot to the table. They bring consistent quarterback play, and that's what the New York Giants have been missing. But outside of that, I really do feel good about this team on paper right now. Shane Bowen has a lot to work with. The job is not done. It's just on paper, and we got some improving to do. But we'll see what happens in a couple of days, though, or I should say a couple of weeks. But with that being said, again, make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. Hit that thumbs up button on the way out. And also share if you want to share. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation. Let's go.